Fucking meta, dude, for today, for this
Yeah,
new
it's
moon, like
it's unprecedented,
this is
really.
us practicing what we're preaching. Like
Yeah,
we are bringing
100%.
it to the physical today, Mark.
Leading by example, showing people exactly how it's done. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the sacred space, everybody. We have something completely new, unprecedented today. Your boy, Mr. Meyer with the fire. And we've got the Queen of Wands herself, Mrs. Peach Chronicles, Chronicles of Narnia, Mrs. Heather Tully. Yeah,
I need a cool
give it up.
tagline like you, damn.
Yeah, something like that. We gotta make it up as we
We'll get
go.
there.
Yeah, but here's the queen. So we wanted to bring you guys some action today. Got a couple cameras. I've got some charts to show you. Today's the new moon, believe it or not. So this is the 9th of February, and two heads are better than one. And we're about to shine like the sun.
Uh,
So I know. So basically, with this being a new video, what we have planned for you folks is a detailed breakdown of this new moon cycle. We're going to talk about what the new moon is, what Aquarius is, and then we're going to take time to break down these archetypes through all the 12 signs. So I'd encourage you to get your natal chart, follow along, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride because we have a lot of beautiful things coming for you guys today. So I'm going to pull the chart of the moment and we're going to talk about what the new moon is. What does that mean? So I'm gonna kick it off, and Heather, you can chime in
drum
as
roll,
we
please.
go. So this is the chart. This is my local geography. So feast your eyes. Lo and behold, the sun and the moon are making a conjunction in the sign of Aquarius, and that's beautiful. So that is what the new moon is. If you go outside, you're probably not going to see the moon around now because quite literally, it's in the same occupation or station or location as the sun. So
Mhm.
that's the dark moon. That's the beginning of the lunar cycle. And you can see this in the astrology chart. And I'm going to circle it if you're not seeing it yet. This is the sun and the moon conjoining in the sign of Aquarius. Yeah, can't miss it, right? The sun is the more orange one, the one that looks moon shaped, very much the moon.
I'm
Yes.
guessing it's the moon. If you,
Yeah, you guys seen the moon before. You went out there, you pointed at it, you've seen it. Beautiful thing. What is the moon? It could be a rock, it could be a wheel of cheese. Nobody really knows.
nobody
Have we been
knows.
there? Yeah, I don't know.
Have you
I
been there?
digress. So basically, the lunar cycle is a crazy phenomenon, and every 29 days, the lunar cycle will restart. So over the next month, you'll see the moon work its way around the chart, and then we'll have our next new moon in the sign of Pisces. So until then, we're beginning this cycle. 2 weeks from now, we'll have a full moon. We'll have quarters along the way. What does that really mean? So, astrologically speaking, the moon really rules our timing and how we move throughout the universe. So, in the most literal translation, this is a new beginning, a new cycle for all of us. And this means that a seed is planted today and it will germinate. And how we take care of the seed will really reflect the results of our life. So, everything is energy, everything's intention. We need to start there. When we talk about the sign placement of the moon, well, actually, before that, like, am I on point? Am I missing anything? Like,
No,
is this?
that seed was really good because that's so on with this. It's like what seed? So what seeds are you
Mhm.
planting? And that's what we're
Yeah.
gonna really get into.
So it's gestation, quite literally. It's
Mhm.
like the beginning. This is the
Right.
baseline, and this, by definition, means new. So new energy is coming in, and this is going to reflect a need, and growth is going to start. So we'll pull up the full moon chart in a second, but just understand that this is the intention that is being birthed at this time. So we can take the time to water it over the next couple weeks and really over the next month, the next lunar cycle. Just know that that's the point we're starting now. And the whole month will reflect this theme. So that's very important. So let's talk about Aquarius. Aquarius is the 11th sign of the zodiac, and it's almost at the very end. It's the last air sign. So Aquarius is the water bearer sign. It's literally a human pouring out water. So on some level, this sign reflects humanity. The earth, I'm sorry, the air part of it reflects logic. This is the most scientific, the most empirical and logical sign of the zodiac on some level. But ultimately, with Aquarius reflecting humanity, this does talk about the collective and that identity that we hold, our connection to the world, society, or on some level, our individuality and how we aspire to be involved with the world. So Aquarius, on some level, we could talk about this all day, but I think an important word for Aquarius is the truth. Science is a very Aquarius phenomenon, but a collective is also something to think about. And also in traditional astrology, Aquarius has two different ruling planets. And by understanding the planet that rules the sign, you do get a better understanding of the archetype. So two planets, that's going to be Saturn, the ancient ruler. And when we found Uranus with the telescope, we found out that this makes a lot of sense. So Saturn, first of all, part of me speaks more to the reality and the real world and the truth. Uranus specifically would speak more towards rebellion and change and freedom and liberation in the individual. So very powerful energies that come with Aquarius. And if you've been following modern astrology lately, you know Pluto is already in the sign of Aquarius. It's sitting right here. And this is a multi-generational shift. This will take millions of people to participate in. So there are big changes happening in the collective right now. And we are just getting started with the age of Pluto and Aquarius. Some would say the age of Aquarius in general. It's debatable, but either way it goes, there's strong Aquarius energy in the sky right now. And the new moon in Aquarius is suggesting that there's strong Aquarius energy needed from each and every one of us. So that's important. So we've taken the time to gather a lot of information intuitively and logically, and we've presented a lot of this to ourselves and our friends, and you guys are going to love this video. So if you enjoy this at any time, I really encourage you to smash that like button and go show some support to the mission with Peach Chronicles or your boy, Mr. Meyer. So what else do you think about Aquarius, Heather? Like, is that a pretty good picture? What do you think when you think about Aquarius?
When you were talking just now, honestly, what the image of a puzzle popped in my head of how each piece is unique. Each
Mm-hmm.
piece is different, but it is a part of this big picture.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it takes your truth and showing up and doing the work to discover your most authentic self in a world that thus far has really snuffed it out of everybody and kind of tried to force
Yeah.
that cookie cutter. But now we're walking into, like you said, that age of Aquarius energy. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody's being faced with a lot of mirrors that are like, cultivate who you really are, to free yourself of chains or cycles or outdated masks or belief
Mm-hmm.
systems that do not fit not just you, but your piece in this big picture. And
Amen.
like
Yeah.
the people that you're around, the things that you want to create while you're here, because it doesn't have to be some big grand thing, but we all have something very unique that we came here with and something that
Amen.
calls to us and drives us, but you have to figure out what that is. And
Truly.
in that inner world, it's going to be different for everybody, but it's just something to think about with this potent energy, like being intentional every day.
Amen. Because literally, it's some, like you said, it's something within you, but it's beyond us. It's about
Right.
the collective and the group, and
Right.
nobody's going to discover that shit for you. It
Mm-hmm.
takes your effort, it takes your will, and it takes your independent thinking and choice to be
Right.
able to question, what's going on and what are you doing with your life. Because quite literally, when this talks about the mind, the Aquarius archetype, if your mind isn't thinking for itself, it doesn't really work at all. So
Right.
that's really a theme with this new moon, the Aquarius energy. And I know this is kicking off a cycle for a month, but yeah, this is going to reflect the 20 years we're entering. And
Right.
that's going to be a bend and ripple in time itself. So
Right.
that's exciting that the world is kind of accelerating because humanity's coming together.
Right.
So freedom really is here for those that are called to it. This new moon, let me zoom out really quick and show you the other characteristics of this new moon. It's very interesting. So how do I zoom out? Just like that. Okay, boom. So this
Just
new
like that.
moon, yeah, we're learning today. So because I use Zoom, but just not like this. We learning.
We
So
learning. You
today,
see that? You see that new moon in
woo, you see
Aquarius?
the new moon making a square
Expanding,
aspect.
baby.
That's a 90-degree angle to Uranus and Taurus. And any aspecting planets to the new moon energy reflects different qualities we're bringing in. And the aspect shows under what conditions and circumstances. So
Right.
the Uranus is once again the ruling planet of Aquarius. This is coming in at a 90-degree angle, traditionally kind of more difficult. So this just says big changes are coming and be ready for that. It doesn't have to be a bad thing or a difficult thing necessarily. This could be great for most people, but I will just say that this talks about a need for freedom when it comes to the moon and a want for freedom as well when it comes to the sun. So it's worth asking if your ideals make sense and taking time to adjust your paradigms. That's predominantly what I'm seeing and what we talked about is that you got to break out the box that you've put yourself in. And sometimes the box comes from just being in a world and developing paradigms unconsciously.
Right.
So, sometimes you have to question the way that you perceive things or the way that your paradigm literally creates the reality that you live
Right.
because Uranus rules the individuation process. So what quite literally what this cycle talks about is stripping back the layers of illusion to figure out who you really are in this world. And that will take time. That will take thinking. It'll take action. And by the way, if this is you conversing with yourself, other people don't have the answer, which
Right.
is so crazy. And that's just, I think, a point to really take in because the message here is alignment. Try to connect with yourself. And we're all different, like we were talking about. And that makes us special. Those uniquenesses can bring us together, but it's very easy to be in this world and look at your differences and feel separated or feel like you don't belong or feel alienated or outcasted. So that's really wild because I wanted to say this might sound a little oblique, but I guess it parallels something. But I was reading today, one of my astrologer friends posted that Carl Jung calls the Aquarius archetype the outlaw. When he gives
I
titles to
love
the
that.
different signs, he calls that the outlaw. And it makes sense to me because
Yeah.
you have to be willing to be a rebel, to be
Right.
your truth. You know, if you aren't willing to stand in your own power and message and authenticity, you're not free.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's a fact. That's a hard truth, but that's a fact. And my heart needed to say that. So I believe that's going to reach the hearts of many people hearing this. So,
It's huge.
mhm.
It's the whole message really is and nobody like, don't beat yourself up too hard because it's like our current society thus far has been really, really intricately designed to snuff out your individuality, your free thinking, your autonomy. We're made mind, body, soul very reliant on the system, even taking a medicine, then you
Oh
get
yeah.
sick in another way, just all those things. And slowly we've watched humanity kind of start to shift into the direction that's happening right now, which is this all of this age of Aquarius is you're probably seeing these things all around, like scrolling down TikTok. Everybody's starting to question things. Like people are like, okay, so are we just gonna stop paying rent? Like, or we're seeing the a lot of the structure of things finally being questioned and starting to crumble, honestly, because people are starting to think for themselves.
Amen.
And it's scary,
Powerful.
which is that outlaw, like, it's perceivably scary, but it's not. You were made to feel fearful of, your autonomy and like so dependent on the system when it's not. You're not. And you're more powerful and you know more and you're capable of more than you can even comprehend right now. And that's what you need to start
Okay.
putting your energy into and like your learning and your grounding.
Absolutely. I agree. I resonate with that totally, Queen, because it's necessary to have a system when we have a community and to
Right,
build a society because on some level that reflects our kinship and connection. But at the
right,
same time, you can't get lost into the entity itself and forget that it's built out of people.
right.
I don't know who said this, but it's a famous quote, and and I'm gonna probably butcher it. I hope not, but the dude says like, there becomes it might have been Oppenheimer for real. I can't remember. It might not even. It was Abraham Lincoln for all I know, dude. But
One
like,
of them motherfuckers.
yeah, he was talking about the atomic bomb. I think I could be wrong. Also, I'm just literally going
Fine.
so far off the point. This is Leo Mercury as hell. I haven't even started talking about it.
This
I'm
is
so
how we
sorry,
go,
guys.
man.
Okay. Boom. He said there becomes a time. It's an in Linkin Park song. Somebody in the comments is gonna have to put it in the comments, or I'm gonna have to
I'm gonna
find it.
go
But
no.
he said there's a time when the machine and the operation of the machine becomes so odious when you literally have to put your body against the levers and the wheels and make it
Oh,
stop, quite
right.
literally.
It's giving
That took
Pink Floyd,
yeah,
the
it
wall,
feels very
like
Pink Floyd. Took
another
me a
brick
while to
in
get
the
that
wall.
thought out, but you guys feel the energy. That's literally what it is that if the game's played on our backs, stand the fuck up and end the game, quite
Right.
literally.
And we can
Some
build a
games you don't
structure
play.
that works.
In some games you infiltrate from the inside as well.
Right. That's kind of what we're doing. Like
And
truly,
that's
like,
exactly. I mean, because literally you can't hide the truth and you can't put limits on information.
right.
So the thing is, man, is like you have to be willing to play the game to win the game. And
Yes.
that's the real challenge of having a hard aspect to the sun and Uranus.
Right.
Very real is that some people are not willing to do what it takes to be free.
Right.
Some people do not want to be free,
They do
where
not.
their
Yes.
fear outweighs the desire to have authority.
Yep.
And some people are that way. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you just have to be very honest with yourself. Who are
Right.
you and what are you doing with your energy?
Right.
Some people would rather elect to be a victim of their life
Right.
because it absolves them of responsibility.
I
So the
completely.
question here, I don't even think this is a question, quite literally. This is the answer to people's questions. Your freedom comes through responsibility. Your freedom doesn't come from responsibility. You have to play your role in this life, man, because you build the system. So if you're not taking time and energy and initiative out of your life to uphold the system and do something great for the collective, why would the collective benefit you in
Right.
divine order and reciprocity?
Right.
You know, this new moon energy really feels like breaking out of the matrix. So if
Yes.
you've never
Yeah.
seen this movie,
Yes.
watch the movie because it's very
Yep.
symbolic of this process that's
Yep.
happening right now. Is
Yes.
that, you risk, Heather was talking about this basically, like indoctrination is going to happen unconsciously when you're born in a police state. So
Right.
people are taught what to think and not to feel. And
Right.
their safety is going to come through obedience. And on some level, it kind of has to when you operate within a system for you to be
Mhm.
able to collaborate. And you could think about like your body being a system and your blood
Yes.
cells and organs cooperating. If you are not going to play the role of the kidney, your body's going to have a hard time, dude.
Right.
So all freedom comes with a price, man. And you're just going to have to ask if you're willing to pay the price.
Right.
Some people don't need more freedom. Some people need less freedom, and that's going to make their life better. It just depends on who you are. We're all living different lives, like we're talking about. But
Be real with yourself too. Like this is the time where you gotta like I'm seeing the meme of like Kermit to Kermit, but one Kermit's got the hood, you know what I'm talking about? But it's like, at
yeah,
some
yeah.
point, like you gotta be real with you. Like you literally know, like whether it's your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, like you know things that are not serving you anymore. You know people that are not for you anymore. You know areas
Oh
that
yeah.
like are
Ways of
making you
thinking, all
sick.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing with like the whole structure thing and whatever. Like, I'm the first one, I'll say all day, like, we definitely like, that's how a community and all that kind of stuff will run. But the one that's been kind of, we've been dealing with for, oh my God, my thumb.
It happened again.
It's always
Wow.
happening to me.
Yeah.
But like it's been fucked, and it's been made as somebody who taught in public schools for almost a decade. You are snuffed of your individuality, of your free thinking, of your true mind
Yeah.
and creativity. And
Right.
like, so we need, yes, our society and a community and kind of law and whatever. But the shit that it's been is like, it's the opposite, honestly, truly, of what we need as humanity,
Amen.
as a
Yeah.
society. Like,
Can I chime in? Because that's
please.
brilliant. It really is. Yeah. So It really feels like Pluto Capricorn, where we just came from. It's like what we were just talking about, how the system itself, it's literally an entity,
Yes,
by legal definitions, but also if you want to think about it from the more animist or spiritual point of view, like any corporation or government or any organization literally is a spirit. It becomes an entity
right,
itself. So just
right.
like a human or a dog, it has to breathe and eat and sleep and things like that too. So
Yep,
it's like, we build the world, we build the organization or creature,
yep,
but it has to sustain itself. And at some point, these things can grow into monsters, and they can be self-sustaining to the point where they can be cruel and not even support the humans that were built to benefit from the system, or
right.
that built the system to benefit from it, I should say. You know, so this is systemic oppression, is what I'm literally talking about, and we've been talking about, is that it does rob you of autonomy on some way, because the war is on the mind. And
Mhm.
that's what the prison break is. That's what
Yes,
breaking out the matrix means,
yes.
is to think for yourself and realize that your perception is your reality, and your perception is modified by your environment and
Mhm.
conditioned and influenced by it as well. So you have to take full control and initiative of your space and perception.
Yep,
So wild stuff. Spirit, speak through us in this reading to make sure we
absolutely.
hit the major points, because I feel like they're all here. I think my Virgo rising is just getting, I'm like, man, I just don't want anybody to miss this message.
I know.
So
No, I think we're really hitting it, like, the I think that overall the message is out, and like the last thing that really goes with that, in my opinion, is knowledge is power. You have the power to free yourself, and make these things show up in your physical reality by that knowledge, by learning yourself, by learning the tools, by, say it's things like what you put into your body, the taking your health back, taking your mind back, taking your freedom in all of those ways is breaking free. And
exactly.
that's the overarching
Hmm.
message. And
Yeah,
of
I
course,
think at
we
the
want
end of
to play
Mhm.
it out in the 12 houses, but that's
Right, right. So we'll reflect it deeper, but ultimately, it comes down to what is your goal, and
right.
on some equation or level of it, you should say to live a good life, whatever that means for you. So one more thing I want to show about this new moon before we get to the breakdown is that this new moon is making a trine aspect to Vesta. And this is one of the biggest asteroids in the belt. And Vesta is the goddess of the hearth and the home. So she represents our devotion to
Mhm.
life and our divine will. And there's a sacredness and a sanctity of the home and the sacred flame that burns forever. And Vesta is a virgin goddess. So Vesta astrologically here is asking us to play our role. And the trine here is saying that is the gift.
Mhm.
By realizing who the world needs you to be and how you can step up, you can free yourself while liberating others.
Right.
So that's powerful, is being a force of dynamic change. And really, when it comes to this one, Vesta trining the sun and the moon, is being comfortable in your identity of the leader, for real. And
Yep.
that's going to need consistency. And in order to do that, you'll have to guide yourself by principles to make sure your actions are correct in the right circumstance, because most things are circumstantial. So you need tools and strategies
Right.
to succeed. And that's what this is talking about. It said, if you can't do this shit forever, why do it for a day? That's something to think about. So I'm seeing in my cards that, where we started, because of this global system monster world, beautiful organism thing we live in this universe, there it might come with some questions and confusions and some trials and tribulations, along with the blessings and manifestations and the beautiful things. So on top of consistency, tools, and strategies, there's a need for grounding. There's a need for being still. There's a need for sitting your ass down on the earth and meditating to slow and still the mind and get aware of the way your perception works. Ultimately, that's what this is talking about, because, this is great to see the big picture and the vision and even get into more of the woo woo esoteric stuff. But as a human, can only be as spiritual as you are human. So sit your ass down and meditate, is what both of us are telling you, quite literally,
And once
every
again,
day.
asking you to do your shadow work.
Dead ass. Do your shadow work, and think about how your paradigm creates your reality, and the universe can only bring out things that's inside of you.
Mhm.
So don't give away your power or your responsibility because those are the same thing, really. So living the truth is what this is about. And ultimately, in order to live your truth, you have to do three things and be very clear about this. Number one is know yourself. So you can, number two, be yourself. And then number three, allow others to be themselves. And that's the three things. And some of y'all not going to hear that, but it's okay. Or
In due
people this
time.
on the full moon. Yeah, you'll hear it next time.
In due
You'll hear it again, man. The narrative won't
time.
change. Truth is the truth. That's how you live the truth. Okay. But that means coming together ultimately is that when we individuate ourselves and we realize who we are and choose operatively that which we want to experience, then we can meet others in their authenticity and then co-create with others. So that's beautiful. So let's see this full moon, and then we're going to break down these 12 houses really quick because I want to show you guys where we're headed. And if you know the lunar cycle and that rhythm, you should already know that this means that we're going to be approaching the, somebody's going to say it, it's the full moon in Virgo because the sun will go in Pisces. So, boom, here we have the Virgo moon opposite the Pisces sun. That's our next full moon in 2 weeks, February 23. So one thing I want to say about this new, or I'm sorry, this full moon lunation in 2 weeks, the most pressing aspect, let me delete the thing, is that we have this moon opposite Saturn, sun conjunct Saturn. So this really is about self-control and discipline and really, I'm going to say a couple things. Self-love, self-respect, self-discipline, self-preservation. And that means accountability, owning your actions and not blaming the universe or any other person or
Right.
soul in the universe, because ultimately you can only expect from others what you're projecting, and you get no power from being a victim of life. I don't care how bad life has treated you, man. We have lists of traumas that we could tell you about. But
I have
ultimately,
victim consciousness right here. That's crazy.
yeah, no,
As being
that's
the
real.
problem.
I mean, and it's a hard lesson because you have to
It
have
is.
empathy for yourself and
Right.
sympathy for yourself, even. And it's like,
Right.
it's a weird question to say, how long does it take for you to get over something?
Right. Like I've been
And
here
that
for a while. Like I was there for a long time. You too. Like we all
could take
we
lifetimes,
get
man.
it.
I've been there
Life
too.
sucks sometimes. Like
Yeah, it can, bro, it can literally take lifetimes to get over some shit.
yes,
No
exactly.
joke. So, there just says whenever I don't know when that point is for everybody, but to rise above victim consciousness is the point.
Right.
To protect your consciousness and know that you are everything, that you're safe no matter what happens. Through the purity of your consciousness, no matter how bad your experience happens to be, that your paradigm does influence it, your
Right.
actions do influence it. Really, the cold, dry message, very Saturn Pisces message I could give for this one, which I feel is that you must do everything in your power to live a good life. And if you don't, why would the universe put that in your experience?
Exactly.
The universe is unwilling to serve you something you are not serving yourself or unwilling to
Mhm.
give to others. And I just posted a video about the 4 levels of life, and simply and quickly, it's survival, sustainability, success, and significance. And it's going to be very difficult for you to manifest your blessings if all you're concerned about is yourself. So
Right.
sometimes you have to go a little bit beyond to be able to create that good karma, to be able to receive the things that you're trying to manifest into your being. Because that's reciprocity. That's what Saturn is.
Right.
And quite literally, Heather said this just a second ago, but do your damn shadow work. That's the whole fucking point. Pardon my
Right.
friend. But this says be aware of who you are and what you do unconsciously, because the things that we do that are harmful unconsciously can take a long time to undo. Straight up.
Right. I know it. I know
Yeah.
it. But it's so real,
Mhm.
man. It'll change your life. That as above, so below, as within, so without. It is real. Like
Absolutely.
when your body or your mind, your soul, your spirit, your energy, your heart is dark or messy or broken or sick, what does your external reality look like? You know what I mean?
The
Like
same thing. It's a
the
reflection.
same thing. And so it's
Yeah.
like the
Hmm.
victim, it's a hard cycle to break because I know we've all been through some stuff, man. I get that. But you need to love yourself enough to know that you deserve better than what you are giving yourself. And when you start to make those changes, the
Yes.
universe can back you up. Where
Amen. That's called raising your
intention,
standard.
yes, like if you're focusing on the negative or the things that are going wrong or the things you don't have, guess what? That's what's going to be constantly shown to you is what you don't have. You're not going to be getting more of it.
Exactly.
So where your intention and like focus goes, the energy flows. And that's
So
sometimes
real.
a negative mirror right now, but you have the power to like become conscious of these patterns and do something
Yeah,
about it because you deserve better, man.
exactly. And what I see in the cards, and this resonates so deeply with me, is that the work quite literally is just protecting your mind, protecting your
Yes.
perception. You
Yes.
know, it's not always what you're seeing. Sometimes it's literally how you're seeing
How
it.
you're seeing it.
Yeah, and don't forget that your mind is a screen. You know, your eyes are a screen, and you got to make sure you know how you're never going to see something ever that hasn't been influenced by your subjective awareness.
Right.
So be very aware of who the hell you are, because
Right.
that's the world. The world is you pushed out, simply, is what we're talking about, as above, so below. So you have to take time to love yourself, and don't let this world rock you to sleep or convince you that you should hate yourself, because it
Right.
doesn't even know who the fuck the world is. Okay.
Mhm.
So don't let the world project its confusion on you.
Right.
Love yourself, respect yourself, and take care of yourself. And discipline, what really helped me as a person who struggled with discipline is to view this as a form of self-love and respect, as
Yes.
opposed to a restriction or a
Yes.
obligation. That's going to help. So follow in that order. And then just self-preservation means making yourself a priority and never risking yourself. Because if you love something, anyone, or anything, you never risk it,
Hmm.
right? So self-preservation is priority. And what priority means is thinking of this shit prior, y'all. So I'm talking to you listening to the video. The collective responsibility is self-preservation. That means you
Right.
cannot do things that harm you. And everybody walks a different path. So that's questions for us to ask ourselves. Is this
Dude,
harmful or does it help? Right?
as you said that, this card fell out. Am I on the right path? As you said
Yeah.
the word path,
Dude, if it's like that's a scary question to have, but honestly, and
right?
I've heard this from my teachers before. They said, you know, be grateful for those type of questions, because, you know, when you don't have those type of questions, the moment you think you have everything all figured out, that's the moment you actually lose yourself, man.
Yes.
There's healthy fears in this world. Remember that.
Right.
Some of your fears are just, and you
Right.
just got to ask, where am I going? Basically,
And
where
you're
does this path
allowed to
go? What do I
change your
want?
mind. You're allowed
Mhm.
to change your mind. You're allowed to change
Exactly.
paths.
And I want
Like,
to point out the North Node really quick and just say that, you know, you're allowed to change paths. Absolutely. You have to ask yourself, what do you desire? That's literally the
right.
kind of point of all of this energy right now. And we'll head into these houses pretty soon, starting with Aquarius. But that's the collective message, is go towards your desires, because you
Right.
have to move the world forward personally. And on
Yeah.
some level, you may manifest all your desires. Check off the list and be like, whoa, I need new goals. So give
Right.
yourself permission to wander sometimes too,
Yes.
because this is Chiron hitting the North Node, saying this world is collectively wounded on some level because it doesn't know who the fuck it is,
Yes.
right? So with more awareness of self, we can expand our accountability and responsibility and become healed.
Right.
Yeah, bring healing to others and inspire others through our actions by being intentional with everything in the realm of our control, manifesting all of our desires.
Hmm.
Straight up. Some of y'all still
Literally.
won't do it because you're too fucking afraid. But for those that really are willing to pay the price, want the freedom, they'll do it and they'll enjoy it. And I hope that you can feel me saluting you from the heart, because that's freedom. That's
It
what that
is,
feels like.
man.
And I fuck with it. I
That's
see you
hella
eye to eye.
Aquarius.
You know you're a leader. You know you're my equal. And that's beautiful.
Hella
Let's go.
Aquarius.
Very Aquarius. Let's get to the Aquarius risings. Let's start breaking it down.
Let's do it.
Super fun. And make sure that you're working on psychic protection, y'all, because 99% of it is self fucking inflicted.
Hmm.
And that's something to think about. You simply don't know how big your mind is. And I'm not insulting your intelligence. I'm basically calling out the blind spot in your perception.
Right.
No offense, dude. I would be grateful if you honked at my blind spot. So don't
We
take
need
it to
each
heart.
other,
Don't
like
take it for
all of us,
exactly. We don't take that shit personally, man. That's what friends are for. That's
period.
what community is fucking for, man. On the Aquarius spirit, age of Aquarius, that's what this shit is about, man. It's us. So let's get into it. Starting with the Aquarius rising. So Aquarius rising says that you really have this new moon hit in the first house. So this is a complete new beginning personally for you guys. And with Pluto hitting that first house for 20 years, hey man, the
Mm,
power is going to you. You know, so allow yourself to be dynamically changing. You got to remember as an Aquarius, you are literally different. We all are. And some of y'all recognize that and then normalize your uniqueness and stop fucking doing that.
right.
Remember that you are unique and you are a special snowflake. And that's not to subordinate you or say that like in a persnickety way. No, you literally add significance to the world by
Yeah.
being different. So I'm encouraging you to blaze your own trail. I'm encouraging you to be a leader and step up and lead by example. You know, some of y'all need to be astrologers, is what I'm seeing. Tarot readers, scientists, you know, get into Silicon Valley or start innovating and get the science off, you know, pursue your metaphysical, occult, or spiritual development for real. You know, and you got that Uranus going through that fourth house. So really what I'm seeing is that, you know, things are going to be shaken up deep within your core, deep, deep, deep within your core. And this might be within your family, you know, or your close friends. Not everybody can come to the top with you, man, especially when they got that crab in the bucket mentality. Like, I don't want you to succeed unless you are helping me succeed. You know, that's not fair. That's not reciprocity. That's actually you're gonna have to cut off negative influences perhaps and let things close to you or from the past influence you in a negative way. Really is like for the Aquarius rising, y'all really got to let go of the past. Is really what this message is about for y'all, is that connecting more with the self means removing illusions from the heart, basically. Standing within your power and realizing that you are the truth, that your truth is a truth just like anybody else's truth. It might not be the truth, but it's a truth. You get me? So you can honor and value that and don't let others rock you to sleep. Stand in your own power. It's a very Pluto in the first house message. And, you know, recognize the value of your gifts. That's what I'm seeing. I'm looking at the third house Chiron, the third house North Node. I feel like you guys have a lot to teach people. And ultimately that, you know, the 10th house Scorpio, that tells me that you guys just really have to focus on self-mastery, self-control. And then by transforming yourself, you can empower others and truly immortalize your legacy and be remembered long after you're gone through the spirit of your hard work and intellectual property. And that means immortality. So get on that shit, man. That should give you infinite encouragement and inspiration to be taking action, massive action towards your goals. You know, this world has infinite problems to solve. All problems come with solutions. So there's a need to tune in and pray and raise your vibration for real with this Pluto in the first house. So much is going on for you guys, and Jupiter is going to be blessing you intuitively in that fourth as well. So if you're not meditating Aquarius risings, you're fucking up and missing out. And I'm not trying to give you too much negative reinforcement, but just know that that's a high leverage tool that you always have at your disposal. And when you miss it, you can only blame yourself, and it only hurts you. So don't skip the meditations, man, because y'all live in your heads and you really are great intellectual people. But if you don't take time to take care of the mind, it can't take care of you. The mind is everything. But I just feel like heart healing is so needed with this fourth house Uranus, family traumas, ancestral traumas being lifted from the world because of ignorance. So bringing light awakens the world, man, and that's sometimes bright as fuck in a cloudy day for those who want to be asleep. You get what I'm saying? So not everybody wants the freedom, not everybody wants independence. And I wanted to say something about the full moon really quick because I wrote this down and it's very important is that the full moon that's coming up in Virgo is going to be square Pallas Athena. So while we're still talking about Aquarius rising, this will be congruent with what everybody's feeling. So it's worth diving into this really fast. Is that the full moon in Virgo 2 weeks from now is going to be square the asteroid Pallas. And Pallas is Athena, the warrior goddess, military strategy, the fight. And it's the creative pursuit of knowledge. Just a lot of beautiful things. Athena's great. And if you read about her, you'll see more about her. But either way that goes, I want to say that this cycle talks about, are you willing to fight for what's right, to take a stand? This is about being a warrior. If you won't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Mm.
For real. Some people don't want to fight. And if that's you, a pacifist, a peaceful kind of a person, you need to be fighting harder than anybody else.
Yeah.
If you really care. Because Saturn Pisces says, fuck this fake empathy that's not actually helping the world. Give a fuck about your feelings and convictions that don't move us forward. If you really care, show it through your actions, because actions speak a lot louder than words. What are you doing with your time? Are you making results and changes, or are you making complaints? Because complaints by definition is just being negative.
Hmm.
And that's not helping anybody. So I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's like, I hate that shit, bro. And I'm not saying this to I'm saying this to liberate somebody for
Yeah.
real. And if it hurts your feelings, good. Yeah, that's what I mean from the bottom of my heart. I think I put the wrong one up. Maybe I put it at the back. Pardon me, y'all.
Passionate about that because I feel that though.
Yeah, it's love. It is love.
It's tough. It's genuine tough love.
'Cause, yeah, you got to be willing to meet yourself there as well.
Hmm.
The power's in your hands, man. So really, you don't
Right.
get any power by just giving it away to circumstance. That's the point. If
Right.
you're grabbing that conversation, you took no offense to what I just said. And even if you did, that ain't got nothing to do with me for real. But
Right.
you know, so I see good things coming for the Aquarius risings as well. For those that are quote unquote woke, I hate that term. I don't really hate it, but I just want to say it comes with caveats, nuances, and it can confuse a lot of people. So
Right.
I feel weird about that word, I should say. But for the woke Aquarius risings, the people that are intentional and really living their spirit through their truth, I see the Saturn in the second planting good seeds in the universe, and you guys being able to eat off those trees forever. And this might be great gains that come over time with what you're building, basically. So we're
Right.
gonna move. I want to say, is there anything else you're seeing, feeling, Heather? Because I think we're gonna move on. I feel like that's a pretty good 360 or
No, that was
720.
a solid, solid,
Pardon me. So sorry.
a solid sleigh.
They got cooked. Okay, right on. We love it.
Well,
Thank you so much. Because I'm seeing like King of Wands in reverse. So I kind of feel like that's air. I'm taking that as King of
right,
Swords. We're talking to the Aquarius, Jupiter
right.
for them. Big blessings coming for y'all. Don't forget your power if you want to read it at King of Wands in reverse. Like it's
You're gonna
remember
be
that you
leading
have the power.
people like to do this, to be
Mhm.
like you, like to be unique just because of your uniqueness. It's
Yeah.
inspiring other people to free themselves too. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, it's about so that's important. I'm glad you said that, dude, because that's ultimately what a Aquarius needs to remember is
right,
that to be a leader, you have to be more interested in employing other people's strengths. Otherwise, you're just a fucking outlaw.
right,
You get me? Like that's
right,
real. Yeah.
right,
So that's the thing is like you got to be able to reach into other people to move them forward
right.
and let them play a role in your mission too.
Exactly.
Aquarius is about helping other people. So by helping other people, they help you. That's reciprocity. If we all look out for each other, we are all good.
Mm.
Oh, we're all good. So now let's go to number two. So the way this works, my friends, is we're going down the line. So Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, etc. So this is going to be the new moon in the 12th. So kick it off, bestie. I'm going to
So
zoom in
for
what you
our Pisces fairies,
see.
rocking with the second house energy right now. And when I sat with this earlier, honestly, guys, it was an overwhelming one feeling of you need to get grounded right now. Like in order to even start to see the goals, the values, the beliefs that you have, that you've maybe even say those dreams, it's like you're caught in the dream still, in the daydream, in the fantasies, in the mental, but almost picturesque fairy tale land where a lot of these things can come into the physical. These dreams that you have are not just anything. They could be goals. There could be things, even relationships, friendships that
Right.
you want and that you
Absolutely.
like even for yourself, somebody who you want to be and become, but it's still so much in the internal world. And its spirit's been giving such a heavy call of ground that, be it. So look at, what are my beliefs? What do I value? And a lot of times you can look in your history and see past relationships, friendships, jobs that showed you what you didn't like, what you didn't value, what you didn't want, and then
Mm.
start to cultivate in this sense, knowledge is power. Learn about new things, the things that you're drawn towards with that second house energy. Like a lot of you probably have great talent, skills, resources already within you. Like I'm seeing the magician in my mind's eye, but like with all of that deep inner world energy that, naturally Pisces 12th house you bring, it needs to start to come into the physical reality and not continuously
Mm.
be lost in these kind of karmic cycles of not acting in your physical life and like grounding all of it into reality because you already kind of have what you need within, but you have to start to be honest with yourself and evaluate your life as it is right now. Like, where
Mm.
are you still kind of in the ethers, if that
Amen.
makes sense?
It makes sense to me because I'm seeing with that second house and the third house,
Mhm.
it's healing in the second house when it comes to values. When
Right,
it comes to, do
right.
I care about myself? Do I love myself through and through
Yes.
unconditionally? Under what circumstances do I love myself or
Right,
judge myself?
right.
So this is healing when it comes to self-image, self-esteem, and just feeling like you belong in the universe, quite literally. And
Yes.
with the Uranus in the third, with this one for y'all, I do see just mental health being a issue at the forefront.
Yes.
And issue's not good or
Sadness
bad, but
coming
yeah.
out.
Oh yeah.
Sadness.
So it's a, and I want to say the trauma I feel from that third house is, an inability to communicate or to express
Mhm.
one's truth, or maybe
Yes.
judgment that has come from doing that in the past and just being persecuted for having these dreams. So why the fuck would
Yes.
you want to pursue them in the first place? It's like
Right.
a internal conflict where,
Right.
you may not necessarily feel grounded, like she was saying, or safe enough to really embrace it. So taking care of your base needs, your physical needs, that second house, that's
Mhm.
going to be the ticket towards freedom for y'all, for real.
Right.
It's just healing the body.
It's so real. Like I think that it's crazy when you said mental health. Like I this is my heal yourself deck, y'all. So it has a lot of like key things, almost shadow work wise, that like you could look into that might call your attention. And true blue sadness, just genuine sadness from the past, from pains, maybe from what we have gone through, what we wish our lives were like, etc. But it's staying in the sadness, and
Yeah.
that's all of that being too much in the head right now where
Yeah.
emperor coming out. It's time to take your power back.
I want to say something else as well, is that on top of taking your power back, a lot of this trauma revolves around poverty in
Yeah.
the second house too. Is that for
Yep.
many of the people listening to this, they could have experienced poverty, and that in itself has
Yep.
huge psychological ramifications on somebody's well-being and
Right.
self-esteem. So the paradigm shift that needs to happen for some of y'all listening is that you need to really take your power back from money itself, to
Yes.
take your to literally not even just money, but the material world, and recognize that the
Yes.
universe protects you, and you and your
Right.
consciousness is the source and substance of all your good. Because if you already don't feel good, or you're already in this space of healing or feeling negative in the body, feeling like you lack money, that's going to basically make you less magnetic to money. So it's a
Yes.
self-defeating and perpetuating cycle. So we don't want to be on that. We want to get off the wheel of money forever.
Right.
And if you are called to this type of energy, it's easy to intellectualize this, but it's harder to put this into practice because changing beliefs takes time. And
Yes.
poverty consciousness is, I mean, I'm a Saturn Taurus. Poverty consciousness comes from generations and really just collective error thinking. So
Mhm.
If you join the Simplified Astrology Discord, which will be linked in the bio, you can take the 44-day abundance challenge. And this is absolutely free. And this is designed to rework your unconscious beliefs around money and totally get off that wheel
Yep,
completely. So it only takes your time. If you're hearing this message, it's for a reason.
yep,
When I say hearing it, you know what I mean. If you feel the call, the pull, the energy in your heart, if you feel tired of
uh,
chasing money, feeling like a slave to money, feeling not good enough, or feeling like you have lack, it's time for you to take that challenge and really
really.
rework your beliefs. Because it's
Yes.
all laid out for you. All you need to do is get a journal. You could really write it in your phone, but I'd recommend a journal. It's that
Yeah.
simple. But yeah, take time to heal our self worth. And I just feel so much need to heal the heart, dude. It's it's
It's serious, man, and
the eighth
it's
house. Look at that. The eighth house south node too. That's letting go of
right.
trauma. It's quite
That's
literally.
that karmic like cycle that coming and you have to do things. It's not just the consciousness of realizing, yes, I have lack mindset or whatever. Like Mark said, do that challenge, do things every day, whether whatever methods call to you, like you need to be doing them. Affirmations,
Oh fuck,
mantras,
dude. Ow.
right? Like I felt
I
that
gotta
like from
say this, dude.
here,
I'm
dude.
so sorry. Ow. Because it's like I'm so glad we took the time to build our energy before we started
Yes.
this because it's hard to miss this stuff. But it's like with this one, dude, the Lilith in the seventh house talks about like paradigm healing, where that
Right.
fear of the world and that fear of others is really drawing out the worst parts of experience of life. And
That's why
that's
y'all
hard
living in your
because
heads.
exactly. And dude, the hardest part is that you create that for yourself and you can't blame
Right,
anybody else.
right. It's so
I
sad.
mean, dude, those projections will be elite because you'll
Right.
be essentially in the survival mode, afraid of the danger. So
Yeah,
it's even harder to think critically because adrenaline's kicked in and everything. So it's like
right.
when you're confronted with that accountability, it comes with terror. So some of y'all simply need to ground the fuck down for
That
real.
is a
So you can start to
huge
see the
thing.
world in a positive way. And I'm talking literally hug a tree and cry it out. I'm not
Yes,
even kidding. I mean that
literally.
literally from the bottom of my heart, because my heart hurts a lot talking about this Pisces rising for real.
Yes, I
Yeah.
wrote down earlier before even doing this, y'all. I wrote that all of these things. One of them is grounding,
I
underline,
need a new black
underline,
candle.
go outside. And then
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, we need more new moon candles for real.
like yeah, for real, we've been burning through. Like,
Yeah. May we light the hold up. May this candle light the way for the Pisces risings and all those listening to this message through the new moon cycle in Aquarius. Blessed be. More prosperity, more peace, more joy, more love, and more abundance and more happiness to you all. Blessed be. And see the world, Aquarius
blessed be
energy. See the
Pisces rising.
world happy, vibrant, successful. Let's all envision a more beautiful world and let's keep going.
Ooh.
So I'm sorry to take full, stage for a second, but yeah,
That's okay,
we can't
Leo. The
there's no
Leo in
Mishima without the
me
fire. You see me.
respects the Leo in you.
I
We're good
appreciate
at
it,
sharing a
bestie.
stage.
Oh yeah, 100%. You
Honestly,
know how
on
to do
that
that.
note though, guys, I do want to like hit this like 2 seconds because I wrote it down earlier and I feel like we've danced around it a few times. And what I said about considering what talents, skills, resources, abilities that you have that maybe you never even fully kind of like that concept in the beginning of fitting the mold and not really being your individual self and chasing your dreams, etc., that we all grew up in. But like look back at this. I mean, even go on Pinterest, type in self-discovery prompts, like passion prompt, like figure out something, especially Pisces, y'all's artistic ass. There's a lot that one that could heal a lot of your energy and getting you in a better state by, being more of what you are, that spiritual practice, artistic creativity. But I'm seeing so much like, because I wrote, underlined, what could you use to make money? So the fact that Mark brought up a few times the money, the lack, the
Mhm.
financial struggles and burden, Spirit's really pushing a lot of you guys there's like something that many of you guys have that you could potentially be starting your own business. You could be like whatever these things are.
Oh
It
yeah.
doesn't even have to be this. It could be an art. It could be things that you create. It could be whatever the hell. But the fact that also the emperor and the magician coming out for you guys, like you have everything you need. You are this person. You have to heal right now. Remember who the fuck you are. Take your power back because you could literally change your life very quickly as soon as you come back to your body. Priority number one, out of the
Mhm.
head into the body.
Amen. Yeah, you can't do anything if you're not grounded. Because it talks about being very, I mean, Pisces is the most spiritual, but that's only going to be useful to the point that you're a human.
Exactly.
I don't know who needs to hear this, some Pisces rising, but Jupiter in the third told me that you don't like to listen to anybody other than yourself, really. So it's like being unteachable makes it really difficult to move through life in a growth oriented
Yes.
way. So
Yes.
that's self imposed limitations. And
Yep.
you're going to have to start recognizing other people as yourself in different forms so you can start to unite with universal consciousness because this I
Yep.
got it all figured out energy is useful to the point where you are willing to learn. Because
Yep.
when you close your mind, you close your heart, man. If you're not a student forever, you will lose yourself in some illusion. I promise you,
Period.
for real. And that three, I'm sorry, that Jupiter in the third is very Eight of Swords energy in the tarot.
Oh,
So,
jail.
some of y'all are kind of stuck because you choose to be. So, not trying to be a dick, but there's that Eight of Swords. And
Literally, like you have the key. What's the quote from earlier? We're all living in cages with the doors wide open. Come back
mhm.
to your body, come back to earth. To look, it's change your perception, change your reality.
And also, like a caged bird might have to take some time to learn how to effing fly.
Why,
You
man?
know? Yeah, so you have to be graceful with yourself in that process, being able to really adjust your life, your paradigms,
Right,
your everything, quite literally.
right.
And I also see like beyond the businesses and everything that these people are going to be creating, they're going to be looking to serve and make more sacrifices and give something more. And that's
Literally
going to
as
provide
I'm
them the
saying.
fulfill. I'm seeing it on my side too, dude,
Oh my
literally.
God,
Yeah, I'm telling
y'all.
you, yeah, for real. So yeah, they're gonna be given something very powerful, very meaningful, and that's gonna make their life all the better because you can only
Exactly.
really receive what you're willing to give. So
Yes.
pretty
Spirit's
powerful.
waiting for you to wake back up to that, to for you to start taking your power back. Because they ain't gonna bring you shit if you're not even here to receive it, if you're not even half of yourself,
Right. Yeah,
you know?
you gotta exactly. You gotta value what you give to the world, and also if
Period.
you're only living at a fraction of who you are, you're only gonna experience a fraction of what you're worth as well, and that's really something to think about, straight
Mm-hmm.
up.
That part.
So, yeah, where we go from here is Aries rising.
Aries.
Yeah, so that's gonna put the new moon in the 11th house with all the other Aquarius planets. So what I'm really seeing for you guys right off the rip is new friends. New people may be coming into your life, y'all, or you might have a new need for connection. But this is also pretty on brand with the whole season, Aquarius being in the 11th for y'all. This says that, new wishes, new dreams, new hopes. You're gonna have new vision, basically. And for some of you guys, I mean, for every one of you, I should say, this is going to speak about evoking your leader within and
Yeah.
bringing that to the front, modeling that through action, inspiring others, and being the example for others straight up. And that may mean including yourself in different groups. That might look like finding an organization that reflects what you love, desire, and aspire for. Some of y'all need to join Simplified Astrology because that would be your ticket to doing that. For those who feel it in their heart, that's what I'm talking to, or Simplified Tarot. Join our Discord server, get involved with our community.
Yes.
If you're looking for, you found this video for a reason, stay in tune. But also, because it's Aquarius in the 11th house, a lot of you guys really do need to start studying your astrology and really dive deeper into your independence. And if it's not astrology that floats your boat, get into human design or numerology or
Yeah. Yep.
personality types or the Myers-Briggs and
Yep.
start to deduce your characterology. Because if you don't know yourself, how the hell are you going to do anything else, man?
Thank
And
you.
you got Uranus here in the second. So I'm really seeing that it's like if you don't know yourself, you can't even value yourself. If you don't know who you are, how are you gonna bring shit to the table? How are you gonna really make the world a better place? And I see Chiron and the North Node in the first house. So yeah, healing yourself, your sense of identity, really overcoming insecurities, weaknesses. Because I say that because not all insecurity is bad. Some insecurity can be a very uplifting thing, but that's what I mean about the Chiron in the first is that you all are gaining more confidence, and I love to see that. And there's some real deep shadow work for some of you guys with the Lilith at the six. It's like literally realizing there's nothing wrong with you, and you were way too hard on yourself, and you get in
People
your
like to
own
shut
goddamn way.
Aries down
Yeah, I mean, y'all will do whatever the hell you want.
because
Aries
we so
doesn't give a
loud.
damn. Yeah, they don't give fucks, man. They
No
just don't.
fucks.
But I just feel like this is about seeing yourself as a success, Aries rising, and recognizing that you have the power and you are free already with that 11th house new moon. So those are the seeds of manifestation that you sow at this time. And you just have to remember that the power is within the mind and the power is within the group. And that we can get way more done with a collective effort as opposed to an individual one. So you must unite your forces and learn to mobilize your associates. I'm not even kidding. I'm talking about give your friends a fucking job to do. And
Really.
like it might not feel like a job, but you need to be covert, sly, or systematic, or even procedural, or even what is the word, like manipulative to some degree to get people to participate in positive
Literally.
actions for real. It's like, because if we're not building, we're distracting each other. And that's the simple facts is that we either get better or worse, and we can't do both. That's a
Right.
fact. I mean, this is a scary truth that a lot of people are not going to want to hear, but let me tell you, Aries risings, when you're experiencing some bullshit 2 weeks from now at the full moon, you're going to remember, I told you so, to leave those
Literally.
motherfuckers in the dust, because you are the people you surround yourself with. And if you surround yourself with five losers, I guarantee you're going to be the sixth one for
Yep.
real. So you also have to stop taking advice from people that don't know what the hell they're talking about, and realize a lot of people might not be qualified to give you advice. So find the people that are doing what you wish to do and learn the clues from success straight up. And also what I see about this Aquarius rising, this follows exactly what I'm saying. I'm sorry, Aries rising, Aquarius 11th is like, keep focusing on what you got going on, Aries rising, and quit meddling in other people's affairs. Quit being too involved and interested, because people will follow you if they like your direction. You
Right.
don't really have to force people. They're going to see your vision through your actions. Your vibe will attract your tribe. So your mission is to delight in your abundance and to keep growing and sharing the examples for those that are receptive. You're meant to give because it's the right thing to do, but you have to look at what happens to those that receive your gift, or how do they receive it in the first place, because you got the South Node in the seventh. What's got to go is this people pleasing shit. And this
Yeah.
is such a weird message, because I'm saying it's about serving the world. But at the same time, we're doing this because of principle, not because of the result. We're doing this because we know it to be the right thing to do.
Right.
And self preservation being your priority. You never risk what you have, but you do plant seeds in the world. And that's what this new moon is talking about for y'all, is that you really have to really recognize the value of seed planting, Aries rising. Be more fucking patient with
Yeah.
Jupiter in the second house, Uranus in the second house, is that a lot of y'all wish for huge blessings, freedom, and wealth. And this can come to you, but you must play your role. And you have to realize that sometimes spirit will bless you with a little to see what you will do with a lot. And your
Yeah.
values might not be as straight as you think they are. And quite honestly, this really talks about kind of the same thing as before, but the second house Uranus, poverty consciousness and limited thinking and scarcity and greed and wishing less for others so you could have more. And that's not right. That's simply not fucking right, dude. It's just as easy to create abundance as it is to create scarcity and limit and fear. It's all a choice. So you
Yep.
got to ask yourself, do you really want the world to succeed as much as you want to succeed? Or are you being selfish? I mean, and it's weird because this is a blurry line to tread sometimes, right? We're talking about you have to be self-preservative and respectful, but you have to be disciplined enough to be able to
Right.
hold the world up for real. Like for y'all, I was seeing this, especially with the Capricorn Mars transit for a lot of people, but you have to be on your fitness journey for real. And
Yeah.
remember, when you're lifting the weights, you're lifting your fucking life. You're not just working out in the gym or doing push-ups in your room. You were lifting your goddamn life. You were building strength
Yeah.
in yourself, straight up. So keep investing in yourself, Aries rising.
Aries, you need that physical outlet too, because it's a lot of fucking energy and fire that burns through. And it's good. You're a pioneer, you're the leader, you're the warrior. I say this as a fucking quadruple Aries, but like it's patience right now. And it's like, are you giving up on a dream or on a something before it even happens? Like Mark said, like spirit giving you a little to see what you do with a lot. And how you treat the situation or whatever it might be. Like I'm seeing what came out too is what am I most afraid of losing when I'm seeing
Straight
the
up.
friends, the community, the whatever. And it's
I
like,
see it too,
okay,
man.
the people pleasing, like you said, like
Yeah.
you be authentic to you, quit selling out and being
And
something that
dude,
you're not.
exactly, because that's the same reason these people are feeling drained and dry and like
Yes,
things aren't
it's an
working for them is because,
act,
dude, it's literally like you have the resources and simply if you want gain, you have to stop wasting.
right?
That's the simple facts of the matter is that your time matters, your energy matters. It's all important. And if people are not receptive to your help, quit offering your fucking help.
They're not your
Like
people.
my high priest told me this and it changed my life. He said, or it was actually my high priestess, but it was in the same conversation. They were talking about that you have to give people a job to do,
Yeah,
you know? And I see with the Lilith in the sixth house, this talks about just being overburdened with responsibilities and just things
right,
taking your time and being busy, but not productive at the same time,
right,
which is fucking awful and frustrating as hell to be in, you know? So simply you have to literally be more ruthless about where your boundaries are and how you
right,
appreciate your time. Whose time do you value?
right.
Right? You know, so you give people a job to do when they want your help. And if they come back to you without doing the task, you stop fucking helping them.
Right.
They're not really wanting your help. They want your sympathy and attention. And that's not actually going to drive
Yeah.
them forward. That's a parasitic relationship if you really think about it.
Yeah.
So that's worth looking into is that you already have an abundance, but you just have to be planting the seeds correctly and allowing them to germinate and not
Yeah.
digging them up and learn to stay in the energy of celebration and look for those that celebrate with you and clap loud around you when you accomplish things and be
Yeah.
mindful of those that don't fucking clap and
Period,
seriously
dude.
remove them from your life, remove their access to you. Because
Yep.
some people do have this crab in the bucket mentality. And that's what I'm seeing is that like people may be accepting your help, but it's like if they're not willing to collaborate or cooperate, you're gonna have to X them out. And some of y'all have some straight demons that you're associating with this sixth house Lilith. And it's like they may appear to be your best friend, your lover, or a family member, but this is a person who's choosing contempt and choosing strife. And no amount of love or effort on your part is gonna make that choice different for them. This person wants to see the world suffer,
Yep.
so leave them in the dust and cut them out of your life completely.
Yep. You're holding
Jail.
yourself
They should be
back.
in fucking jail, a
Jail.
spiritual jail. They should be in a fucking jail. Absolutely. I knew it was going to come up somewhere, but this is where that's a demon in that
We
sixth house.
found it.
Whoever's trying
Yeah.
to steal your time or whatever, as long as you're being honest to them, that's a demon, dude.
These are manifestation blockers, y'all. Spirit, like literally, like look what came out for the area. Like we got the Wheel of Fortune with fucking Hierophant, the Fool, new beginnings, good karma, destiny at play, divine's trying to fucking bless you. But there are things that have to go. There are people that don't get a seat at your table. There's things that you have to remember about your damn self.
Amen. And Spirit wants me to say, on top of what I said about the demons, just remember willful ignorance is never an excuse. And
Mm-hmm.
that's really as far as that goes.
Yep.
Because we don't want to get lost in the language. That's what I mean
You've
when I
got the
say
power.
that. That's what I mean. That's what we mean. So you got the
Period.
power, and that's as far as it goes. So
Period.
just remember that a lot of people, and I'm going to speak this really to the hearts of the Aries rising before I move on. A lot of people are going to severely, hold on, let me not butcher it. I've got you
Right.
on the edge of your seat. Some people severely underestimate what they can do in a lifetime, and they severely overestimate what they can do in a month.
Mm.
So let
Ooh.
that sink in.
Ooh, bars.
Straight up. I didn't want to fuck it up. That's why I had to take a
Damn.
second, you know? Like for
Dude, let me get
real.
my fucking pen. Y'all better have your notebooks out. Classes
I'm gonna
in
say it again for the person in the back because then I have to rewind it.
literally pay
A
attention.
lot of people underestimate what they can do in a lifetime, but they overestimate what they can do in a month.
Mm,
So be fucking for real.
be fucking for
All
real. Damn.
right, that was a good one. That was powerful.
These are so
So
powerful.
this one's gonna be even better, is what I think, because now what we have, Queen, is Taurus rising. So that's the new moon in the 10th house. And I want to say before I alley-oop this to you, dude, this is traditionally a more difficult place to have the moon. So I will just say that this may be some more challenges for you guys, but adversity builds character, and we're gonna
Yeah.
see what this is.
It's like some uncomfortable emotions is what I feel like is, being forced to onto the Taurus risings by God,
Right.
literally, like, because with like with Taurus in general, and honestly, being, I don't want to say like a creature of habit, but it's like,
Yeah.
like I don't know how to put that in better words, but it's like
Yeah.
there there's a lot of things that I feel are repressed when it comes to those final roots of shadow work, of that inner child, of, the things that are still ruling the way that you are showing up in the world, that could be causing instability and a disruption between what you want and what you need, and a block to what seeing like your long-term vision for the home, for a family, getting really lost in some of the things that you don't really need anymore, that are like a creature comfort almost, is
Mm.
what just popped in my head. Because how you can create now a stability in your outer world is going to come from that stability in your inner world. Like, don't be tempted by some of those creature comforts that, I know your Taurus ass wants to do, even if it's like, say, being lazy, right? And like, that there are certain things that you need to do in order to X, Y, and Z, like accomplish a goal that you have, or a project, or just whatever it might be, develop friendships, all these. But like, you just want to be home comfy in your bed vegging
Yep.
out. Like, there are things that you need to start to incorporate into your life and be real
Mm.
with yourself. Like, like, I mean,
Oh
enjoy
yeah.
your comfort and everything, but like, there are things that you're clinging on to, and I think it's a lot of habits and even people that feel safe that aren't, and they cannot come with you.
Amen, dude. I love that. And I feel this in my heart of hearts, dude. This is like you're on point, dude. Seriously.
Thank
And
you.
what I just want to show about the chart, just to kind of
Please.
like add some commentary or imagery, is that all of this is in the top left hemisphere. You really, I mean, and these are asteroids in the fifth house. So like, and that's the node in the sixth.
Mhm.
Everything is in the top left. And what does that mean? I mean, this is about you taking your life into your own hands.
Right.
Because the 10th, I mean, and you've got the ninth house Capricorn. So that's going to be guide. It's Capricorn. So we're going to start with the 10th, 11th, 12th. It's like that's your goals, your aspirations, your future, and your dreams. And this all rests with you in the first
Right.
house. It's very personal. But like Heather was
Very
saying,
personal.
it's gonna be some hard work, you know? And you
Right.
gotta recognize the value of that discipline, and as it is a
Right.
form of self-love and
Yep.
endurance rather than restriction and tyranny,
Right.
you know, is that hard work betrays none, and paying your dues and doing what others won't do today ensures that you can have what they can't tomorrow.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
Yeah, not everybody
It's
can come to the top with
more.
you as well, because that's a real sixth house south node lesson, is that
Uh,
you can't take responsibility for everybody else. You
mhm.
have to move yourself forward.
Right.
Sometimes with this 12th house north node, it's about putting yourself in isolation
Yeah,
so that
dude.
you can heal or getting clarity, even. Very
Pushing
important.
yourself, man.
Yeah, not everybody can come to the top. And also with this Lilith in the fifth, this is healing your inner child and healing your self-image too.
Yeah. Inner child, I have written down like bold, like for
Oh
y'all.
yeah. And really, when I think about the fifth house Lilith as well, like beyond all that, it's about keeping your center and sometimes fighting for it if you have to,
Right.
not letting others take you off your center
Right.
and pouring more into you, really recognizing your deep need for love and respect and
Yep.
feeling that need yourself.
Yep.
Time and effort, consistency with this Lilith and Virgo.
Right.
That's what's required. I may pull some cards for this as well, but I like where you're going with this, Queen.
Do
That's
it,
awesome.
dude. Like this, it's so real, because out of all of the decks, like I'll grab a few, y'all, like whenever I'm doing this, just to kind of grab a full picture, and everything is so lining up. I mean, this right here, am I consistently showing up? And
Right.
you know, the temptation and procrastination, like honestly, a lot of these things that we're saying, you know, you've been known. And
Confirmation.
it's genuinely like, and procrastination sometimes isn't just like, you know, you being lazy or you being whatever. Like sometimes it's fear that makes us procrastinate. It's perfectionism.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
lack of knowledge. I don't know
Dude,
how to
yes.
do X, Y,
Yeah.
and Z.
On top of lack of knowledge, what I think for the first house Jupiter is it's a lack of vision and perspective too,
Yes.
where you
Right.
need it's the left and the right brain. You need the tools and the strategies, but
Yep.
also what you literally need is a compelling why. Because if you don't have
Right.
a reason to go, there's just, dude,
Right.
reasons come before strategies, quite
Right.
literally. Reasons come first
Yep.
before the answers. So you have to come up with reasons to go. What do you want? What do you want to share? What's your gift? And
Exactly.
that's a hard question to ask and answer. But
Right.
I think you may also want to think, what do you want to give? That may be how you find your gift. What do you want to give? It
Damn,
takes
that's
time to think, and you
crazy.
may need space.
Name all the things you love is right here.
Oh yeah, that's on point.
And
I
with
love
that
that.
fifth house, Lilith, like y'all got to look back. You got to look deep in that. And that could be tied to the inner child. What things that you loved or that you enjoyed, even like all these little
Ooh.
things, what was snuffed out?
Yeah, dude, and I'm really feeling in my body something about learning to create with love and joy as opposed to like fear and obligation.
Right. Like just for money or just for,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
just,
The Empress coming right out. Yeah, it's
like,
about
there she
enjoying
is.
your life, dude.
Yes. Just enjoy that
Exactly.
shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for the Taurus rising people, just because of how they are, they are
Yep.
going to need to just take life and take the bull by the horns, man, and
Literally.
save your money, invest your money, and get comfortable. And like, if you're not already saving 10% of the income you have, like, put that shit aside and
Yep.
start making stability for yourself, and then start using your money to create joy in your life,
Right.
like what it's for, create joy and comfort. And start a business. I really feel for the 10th house new moon. Some of y'all really do need to start that business, not only just to
Yeah.
free yourself, but
Yep.
to create the change you wish to see in the world, because your
Yep.
9 to 5 might not be doing that right now. And not only are you not
Yep.
getting paid enough, you're working way too fucking hard, and you are not having the resources and time to serve the world. You could get paid way more fucking money, work not even half as hard,
Yep.
and be helping people and making a unique difference at the same
Yep.
time. So it really, the question now is, can you afford to work that 9 to 5 anymore, man?
Look within. Be
I don't
fucking
think you can
real.
afford it. So exit plan is what somebody needs.
Right. You've been at a crossroads, dead ass, for far too long with like, what's next? What do I do? Who am I? All these little things. And it's like, you got to fight for your damn self right now.
Damn right. I
You got
see
to
Tipper
show
right.
up,
Yeah, create your opportunity. If it doesn't exist,
period.
create it yourself.
Brick by
Make
brick.
the road. Make a way for yourself.
Right.
Become the master.
Master
Put in
yourself,
put in
master
your
your
ten
reality.
thousand hours. This is nice. I really love this because I see wealth in the future for a lot of these people,
Woo, split the
like
deck when
putting
you
the
said
seed.
that.
Yeah, I've seen the Empress, the King, the Seven of Pentacles. Sometimes
And I
just
know that's
patience
what
takes
y'all
time.
want.
But ultimately, what I'm seeing, Uranus here in the first, this is some deep shit. Just saying that,
Steve.
y'all do need to recognize Taurus rising, that by reconciling personal paradox, that you create collective order and beauty.
Yeah.
So know that and recognize that, see the value of that, and lead by example every single day. And
Yeah.
this really speaks to y'all's authenticity, is that you need to be the same fucking person everywhere you go and not keep a mask on.
Mhm.
Just what you see is
Yeah.
what you get. Be fucking for real and take pride in that. Love that, revel that. Don't take risks when it comes to your reputation whatsoever, because
Right.
that means a lot. You want to be remembered for being a positive influence. So do things that are kind and meaningful, and don't do what's expedient and comfortable.
Right.
Do what's meaningful.
Feel like
And
you need
also,
some.
I can't emphasize enough. I'm sorry to cut you off right there, but just cut off the negative energies and anybody that doesn't serve. But also, it takes real honesty with that fifth house Lilith and you guys sixth house transit, that you don't project your bullshit onto other people,
Yeah.
because the things that you
Yeah.
can't, the things, Liz, is crazy. You know this, Heather, but it's like the things you can't accept about people. That's the things that you don't accept within yourself, man, because the world is you
Hmm.
pushed out. So everybody's a teacher presenting you an opportunity to learn, and you
Yes.
have to take accountability for self ultimately.
Yes.
You can't take accountability for other people, is where it gets challenging, but yeah, straight
Right.
up, just own your actions. and then you'll have freedom.
Right. And do you even think you're worthy of all this? Like good, like there's, it feels like there's also a worthiness wound around here. There's a lot of, like this with,
There's
in being
growth
in
here.
fourth house energy too with this, like this is rooting. There's roots to this. There's like
Mhm.
generational roots, honestly. And you gotta, only you have the key to walk out this door, to free yourself from all these things we're saying.
Oh yeah,
You know,
100%.
like, and I'm seeing discover your life purpose, track down your fears and desires, be brave. And you know how much bravery it takes to be real as fuck with yourself, like we're saying? Like, you're not shitty, for, excuse my French, but for having like shadows or whatever. We all do. We all have this. But what sets you apart is deciding that like you're going to change, you're going to heal, that you deserve
Mhm.
better. That's
Yeah.
cycle breaker energy. Like, you have a choice in all of this. So
Hmm.
what's your choice? You know?
Got to choose to get better. That's the
Like,
choice we make. What I want to say is that with the 10th house moon and Pluto in this fifth house full moon coming up, the Lilith here for these Taurus rising, I kind of feel in my heart, betrayal wounds and rejection wounds
ah,
and all this bullshit that these
there's
people
heavy
been through, man.
wounding here.
And all this crap you've been through. It's like, why would you want to keep your heart open to the world
Right,
or other people? So really it's a challenge, but can you send love towards hate?
right.
Can you do that in a safe way where you don't jeopardize your own well-being? I'm just seeing focusing on peace and making the choice to be at peace, to
Right.
create peace within your life. That's going to be required. I think that's basically it. Are you ready to move on? We going to
Yeah, no, go ahead. Literally what
go to
just popped in my head too was like,
I was like, that's a lot to take in
it's
again.
so, yeah, man. Like I, every time we do this, but it's because y'all, like
The
this
cook.
is like what me and Mark are here on this earth to do. And so when we come together, it gets heavy. Like you're
Hmm.
gonna get the truth, and you're gonna get the truth in a way that's like it's gonna change your life.
It's
It's
about transformation,
it's
exactly.
real. Like this
Yeah.
is
We
like
do this on the regular, and not for bragging rights, quite literally. It's like
no.
it's
You know how much
weird to be
pain
out
it
here with
took?
the ego, but yeah, all the suffering and it's like
You know
this
how
is
much
that
we've
in
been through, bro.
this is that independent will to give because quite literally we could be making a way doing a million other things, but this is what our spirits call us to
This is
do.
all we want to do.
It's not about the money, it's about the difference we can make.
We want to free you. We want to teach you. We want, you know what I mean? Like, because we did this shit. We're still doing it,
Yeah.
but damn,
It's about the principle, exactly. It's not about anything besides the principle, not about the attention or any of that. So I think the
no.
point is pretty clear. Sometimes I call it the Virgo in me, but it's like the circle wasn't circle enough. So I
Oh
had
no,
to
yeah, I'm with you. I'll
I
I'll
had
I'll
to
throw
get
a whole page of notes away
yeah, oh
and
man.
rewrite
Okay.
it. It's
Good
sad.
enough. So we have the Gemini risings, and these are the beautiful Gemini risings. So what we have is the new moon in the ninth house. So this is going to be new paradigms completely, new beliefs, and you might be considering traveling or moving with this one,
Mm,
like a completely new environment. But I see for a lot of these people, it's going to be really about hard study and taking your skills to a new level. Because really what's happening is you got some unique dreams coming on right now, and
right.
they're calling you. So what's going on is spirit is throwing download up in your 12th house.
Yeah.
Things are making way more sense. Here we got the Gemini card. Things are making way more sense, but you got this calling and this lingering to really explore. For some of y'all, it's about going on that shamanic journey and
Mm,
really knowing yourself. And I'm feeling it in my throat chakra. It's like being feeling deserving of what you're dreaming about, your
right.
deepest fantasies. Do you really feel worthy of them? The power being in your beliefs, really, how you communicate to yourself, more specifically for the Gemini risings. How
Right.
you talk to yourself is everything. And that work is ongoing, right? Is spiraling. So unlearning and relearning is what I see ultimately is that you guys are kind of taking your beliefs and assumptions under this electron microscope and having a new slate, new paradigm, new way of thinking changes your whole entire life. So there's a very new and shiny energy you guys kind of have over your lives right now for the Gemini risings with the new moon
Exciting.
in the 11th. It is very exciting. And that's going to say, like, because the full moon for you guys is hitting in this fourth house. So what that really means is that you guys are having a really deep and very healthy release going on right now. So that's a very beautiful thing. So I love to see that for you guys. And this just says that you want to really focus on keeping that heart open and letting your emotions flow and really be grounded, go with the body and connect with nature as much as you can at this time and your loved ones. And I really want to say underneath that full moon, you guys probably saw it already, but let me remind you, Lilith is underneath that full moon. So this may actually be highlighting some trauma and some healing that's
Yeah.
going on within the family dynamic, and more specifically with a lot of our moms when it comes to these people. And the negligence or the anger or the harm that has come from your connection with your mother, you know, and that's difficult. That's honestly some of the hardest shit to deal with. Being a mom is the hardest job, but some of that shit might not have genuinely been fair, regardless of how
Right.
hard it was for your mom. That doesn't excuse some of the things that people do. So I just want to say that healing from abuse and trauma, that is something I'm seeing from for a lot of you guys with this Gemini rising, is that you're really seeing how the trauma has affected your whole nervous system and
Right.
how that really affects the whole way that you live. So psychosomatically having to change your life, like in simpler terms, you guys are learning the value of posture. You're learning the value of deep breathing. You're learning that smiling is making you feel better,
Right.
things like that, that you have to really use physical leverage to make yourself feel better as well, to feel more hopeful and more alive.
Right.
Because really, I'm seeing with the 12th house Uranus is like that also could look like losing faith in life for real, like
Yeah.
kind of feeling the worst, like lacking 10th house Saturn and Pisces, you got Neptune up there, Chiron in 11th, damaged worldview, like feeling like the world is broken and so are you. That's some difficult shit to live through, man. Quite
Yes.
literally. So the 5th house South Node, I'm kind of seeing that's reflecting like being ultimately way too damn hard on yourself and
Yep.
learning to rise above critical ways of thinking about self or limited perspective of self, as I'm saying, the strength card coming out, realizing your own beauty. And this could have came up in the collective part of this, but I'm gonna bring this up to the attention with the Gemini risings, which is funny because y'all are the lovers card. And Venus is kind of lovers, is what I
There
mean.
is so much love that's coming out on my end. It's insane.
Yeah, Venus is square the nodes, and that just says that like it's huge love lessons, and
Yeah,
love
that
is really the
exactly.
love is the answer here. Love is the fulcrum that we build our life out of right now. So, whew,
And
powerful,
what do you
isn't it?
have it for yourself?
I sure hope so,
You
because
know?
really, that's what the eighth house Venus here is asking is like,
Yes.
you got to look at the ways that you obsess over other people or the ways
Yep.
that you even idealize others to see ways that you need to nourish yourself. Because the
Yep.
things that you love about others reflects what you value about yourself. And if you can see that in others, you'll actually realize specific needs you have as a person. And that's priceless.
Yep.
So you got to think about, why do I love these people so much? Why do I love him, her, them so much? And then when you find the answer, you'll realize why you're so dope. And you'll
Right.
realize the part of yourself that actually does need acknowledgement. And also on the same note, but opposite, when you look at people you hate, because this is really what I'm seeing with eighth house Venus, is that some of y'all are like obsessed with people that you hate because you really are
Literally,
in
I
love with them
there's
on
so
because you're
much
in
of
love with
that
them
here.
on some level. It's some
Yeah.
weird shit.
Like,
It's so weird
there's a
because
lot going on.
You got
Like,
Mercury and Pluto in the ninth house. Some of y'all are confused as a
as
motherfucker. Being
fuck.
honest,
And it's like
that's
you're
how you,
trapping yourself.
but that's
Like,
how you
it's
know you're learning. I mean, they're let
yes.
them cook, dude. Let them cook. They got the shit.
Right,
Like,
right, right. All right, all right, all right, all right.
yeah, it's like it's not always their fault, but it could be. A lot of times it could be.
Well,
But
I just mean from real love. You're going
oh
through
yeah, yeah.
like,
Oh yeah, no, with that hate shit, dude, absolutely. In the sense that
yeah,
like,
like
the
you're
people
going
that
through a
you hate. Oh
transformation.
fuck yeah. That project we talked about this earlier, but when you deny something or
Yeah,
criticize things in other people, no matter how bad it is, that's
right.
gonna say you have yet to accept it. And dude, hear me out clearly. There's things that I cannot tolerate in people. And people have lost places in my life because of ways they've acted. But ultimately, I must still see these people as myself and
Yep.
as the universe and us being the same organism because that's what we are.
Yep.
So ultimately, that's what I mean when I say, can you send love while receiving hate? This doesn't mean you have to allow people to harm you, but you do not allow the external world to change your direction.
Right.
Period.
Right.
You're a thermostat, not the thermometer. Don't be reactive, be proactive. Choose your
Period.
adventure. You have the operative power of choice. So recognize the gift of your life and give that shit fully. And be
Yep.
willing to die in the giving of your gifts with an open heart, with unconditional love. Because that's the message. And we're going to live ultimately, but that's the point, live or die by the truth, live or die by love,
Right.
straight up. And that's a beautiful thing. And
That's
then I think Spirit, my guides just said, but you're scaring them, Mark. Like, I'm
literally,
sorry. The truth is
don't mean
powerful.
to.
Don't be scared. Be excited. Be brave
You have
all
to,
day.
old paradigms and things have to die off and change in order for you to get the love that I know you want, and the life that you deserve, you know?
And amen, dude. Paradigms have to change. And ultimately, for you to change your mind, you have to change your actions too. So I
Yeah.
want to say something specific I just heard is that some of you guys are going to need to take up self defense so you can stop fearing other people.
Yep.
For real.
Yep.
Because if you don't feel safe in your own space or body, it's going to be damn near impossible for you to let somebody else in for
Yeah.
real. So you're going to have to reclaim your space mentally. And that'll come through discipline, power, and you'll be all right. You got to recognize you are right, but just take the time to do that. Confirmation cat. How you doing, Ron?
Confirmation cat.
Yeah, she's over there jingling her bell.
Said ting
I
ting.
see ascension is happening very fast. These guys are solving their problems very quickly,
Right.
is what I'm seeing as well, which is really cool. Because what I'm seeing with the North Node in the 11th house is like it's paradigm healing. So these people are really going towards the future very quickly,
Yeah,
very fast.
absolutely.
So this is on point. I really love this one. The node in Aquarius's house, very beautiful. So I
There's a
think that's
lot.
basically cook. We could keep going on and on, but I
Yeah,
think that's
no,
the
it's
gist
fine.
for Aquarius, Gemini, I should say. So this is going to be Cancer, and this is eighth house. Oh my goodness! So play us out, Heather. What's up with this eighth house new moon?
Death and destruction, or
Eesh. Yeah,
I
sounds about right.
feel like the first thing that I had written down earlier, which it's funny, this is the last one that I was able to like take pre-notes for today,
Uh-huh.
is um I have all caps, check engine light is on.
The check engine lights on.
The
Oh, that
check
makes
engine
sense.
light is on, but a lot of like reparenting of the self,
Mm-hmm.
especially because there was such a like whatever cycles, literally whatever cycles have been playing out over and over and over again
Yeah.
around the home, your roots. It could be love, could be how you take care of yourself, could be, your world views, whatever they might be. But, a lot of times showing up in relationships and work and how we let other people treat us and how we see the world. There's a lot of release that I feel like you guys have been being dragged and pushed by your necks to finally heal and let go, literally splitting the deck to cycles. Exactly. Like this round and
Mm-hmm.
round and round and round that you've been on. And it's taking you, like, taking your power back of your emotional well-being, of things, taking an honest look around at the people, places, things, habits that are wreaking havoc. Yeah, look, fucking inner child. I mean, excuse me, sorry, I don't know how much I can cuss.
Yeah.
But
I
now
think we're already past that point.
we're so done. Fire
Yeah.
Mercury's inner
We are.
child in cycles. Like and that's the eighth house, the Scorpio, the death and rebirth constantly that you've been on. And it's like you have to, you have to once and for all, like we're saying, plant this seed of you have to free yourself from this situation, whether it be in love, whether it be whatever it might be, that has been continuously having you in a chokehold for a very long time. And literally fucking two of swords with the 10 of wands.
Yeah.
It's making the hard choices and the things that have been weighing you down for a
Mhm.
very, very long time, and a
Dude,
lot
this is so ancestral. You keep saying
it's
long time,
deep,
and I'm
like
hearing you say long time, but I feel like people don't understand how long
no,
we
like, I'm
mean.
saying this is, like,
This is the moon in the 8th house. This
cycle.
is the yeah, this is the south node in the 4th.
Ooh, ooh,
This is Pluto moon energy. This is basically multi-generational healing that's going on.
it's insane, and it's held you prisoner.
And it's
It's
held
held your
everybody prisoner.
ancestors prisoner.
Everybody prisoner. Some of
Everybody going
dude,
down.
like Spirit's trying to say some of this shit y'all are dealing with is some stuff that nobody's figured out yet. So
Exactly.
you got to understand that too.
So take it
And quit
easy on
being
yourself, yeah,
yeah,
like,
for real. Because
don't
like
beat
what
yourself.
this is some I'm glad you kicked this one off, dude, because what I got immediately was dark as fuck, dude. Like this
Yes.
we got the high priestess here as our cancer people. I took that as the moon. Yeah, so I picked this as a significator for cancer, even though I
Mhm.
could have done chariot. But basically, this being the first card, just felt that like some of y'all are struggling to live, basically, or trying to find the will to live, or you've
It's
been
the
presented with
emotional body is,
death.
like, dying,
Yeah, it's going through a rebirth, basically, where it's
right.
like until it goes through that shedding, you're gonna want to resist life, and you may be
Yep,
feeling not confident or feeling less alive or feeling hopeless or desperate
yep,
or fighting addictions or battling demons and shit like that. It's like this is some real stuff that you're going through. And what I wanted to say is that the full moon for you guys coming up is hitting your third house with Lilith transiting that as well. So I feel like some of y'all are really about to have your eyes open for the first time finally.
right.
So
Taking
entheogenic
power back.
discovery and exploration could be recommended for you guys to really free the fuck out of your mind and shake the pillars of your perception so you can actually see the world clearly for real.
Right. Where
So
can you
find some
create more
shamanic
space?
healing, find some go on a vision quest.
Yeah.
And this really looks like soul searching for me is what I'm seeing for these
Yep.
guys. A lot of
Yes.
them. But pardon me, Uranus loves to be in the 11th house. This is actually I mean it's neutral, but at the same time, this is also natural, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
this kind of says that, the gift here is these people can really stand up and lead in some way, shape, or form. This great unknown is the great equalizer. So shit.
Right. You're
Don't be
not a
afraid to hold the
child
torch.
anymore. Like, I needed to
Yeah.
tell myself that before. I've been through a lot of abuse, and I had to remind myself, I'm a grown up now. Like, I can walk away. You can leave. You can take your power back. You're not
Mhm.
at the will of mean grown-ups anymore.
Yeah, 100%. You got the power. Yeah, you're
Literally.
outlawed Tom or Indiana Jones or Dirty Dan now. So fuck it. You're Pinhead
I'm
Larry.
dirty,
And you
Dan.
do whatever you want. I'm Dirty Dan.
You can eat
No,
ice cream for dinner if you want.
straight up, man. Quit telling yourself you can't because you probably could.
Your inner child really wants the inner child coming out again.
This one
Like,
really just told me to free the mind straight up. Just keep freeing the mind
yes.
and work on deconditioning,
Yep. Yep.
unindoctrinating yourself. So reconciling the paradoxes within. This is the time for y'all to think about that. What that lily would mean on top of learning how to forgive is that finding ways to expand your consciousness is necessary. And
Yep.
that will help you trust others again and really play the role you're meant for. And now we can strategize with others and even celebrate our wins together. It's very powerful for
Feel
them.
like you guys need to do some healing, like physically as well. Like, feel like your
Mhm.
physical bodies are still also in, like, I'm talking vagus nerve, like fight
Yeah.
or flight. I'm talking spending a lot more time outside. I know it's winter or whatever, but like, dude, you need to be with Mother Earth. You need to get that real mother energy. You need to seriously, holistic health
Yeah.
is gonna
Holistic health.
help you get to the other side of this too.
Joy is really important too. Like be
Yes.
because the nourishing your body gives you a fighting chance, but you also gotta choose mentally to bring
Yeah.
joy into your life and do things that make you happy and
Yep.
be in nature because that's vitalizing. But beyond that, participate in the things that
Yes.
bring you happiness, because ultimately your choices do matter.
Yep.
And what you're not changing, you're choosing. So
Yep.
I feel like with the third house, new moon, or I'm sorry, the full moon, Lilith coming up, the full moon in the third with Lilith here for you guys, that just means that you have to be a little bit more. careful with how you choose to perceive the world and filter your observations more. I mean, for example, don't doom scroll so much, you
Right.
know? That's one simple way to say it is that, you know, if you are gonna be in a entertainment cycle, choose your content more wisely, you
That
know?
part. That
That's
part.
what I mean, basically, is like, remember, perception is reality. So you have to
Yep.
choose to perceive things that empower you.
Yep.
Literally, you know, social media, I hear that, I feel this in my heart. Some of y'all are fed up with the world. It's like, remember, social media doesn't suck. It's the people you follow.
Yep.
It's the
Yes.
algorithm engaging with
Do
you.
a
Oh
detox
Lord.
on that.
Yeah,
Delete,
you may just need to delete your
unfollow.
phone for a second, man. Programming your phone,
Yeah,
cleanse
dude.
your phone, cleanse your mind. But I just kind of feel like sleeping on the ground is something that these people may want to look into genuinely.
Yes.
Sleeping on the ground for a night and
Yeah.
see how that does you. You know, beyond, you could go camping maybe, but even if not, just shit, go sleep on the
Unplug
ground.
for a bit,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
get back in touch with your center and figure out ways like where you can create more space in your day-to-day life for those things that Mark's saying, like things that make you happy, be getting fresh air, having more time, maybe less on the phone, more doing something that your inner child would really like fucking love to see, because your inner child is not a separate entity from you. It is you.
No, it is you. Yeah. And
It,
ultimately, what I see for a lot of these people is that beyond the need for their self-care, this is a predecessor to the healing vocation.
yes.
That's what spirit, and I heard the knock on my altar.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, you guys are destined to be healers.
Healers.
10th house North Node and Chiron. You are destined to be healers, and that's what life is showing you right now. Is that
Yep.
even if you don't feel like your profession will be labeled as a healer, you are gaining knowledge right now through your life, which
Yep.
will play out as a new responsibility because of your awareness. So you're going to have to act accordingly and play this new role, which you have been assigned.
Yep.
Regardless if you choose this, you have been assigned.
Yep.
So be a healer, deeply explore yourself, bring love and awareness to yourself,
Yep.
and you'll be able to hold and model healing for other people. Okay.
Yep.
Tools and strategies is what you're coming up with, is what I see too. Saturn up there in the ninth saying you just got to like wax on, wax off, Karate Kid,
Literally.
10,000 steps, man, or 10,000 hours, you know,
The path
take the
of the
time.
wounded healer, man. You've been getting
Oh,
initiated,
yeah.
fam.
Yeah, it's real, you know, and
Welcome.
welcome to the party, man, because
Welcome to the party.
initiation, there's more coming. It's
One
plural.
of us. One of
One of us. Straight up. I love this so much. It's so beautiful.
literally.
Yeah, that's what this is all about, man. Because ultimately, what I was seeing beyond the business aspect of it is like, if y'all don't realize how it is an opportunity to serve, you may always feel like a victim of life.
Right.
And that's the point, is that life is infinite, evolves and perpetuates itself. So if you can't realize how to transmute these energies, you'll be stuck holding them. And
Mm-hmm.
that fucking sucks, right? So yeah, just remember you're an alchemist, and the rest is history.
That part. Bars.
I'm about to pop my shit, dude. Let's go. So
Pop it.
Leo rising. Leo
Hey,
rising. Hey, do we know any Leo risings in the house? We might. We might know a couple. So
could it
what's going
be?
on?
Could
Could
it
be.
be the
Could it be?
showstopper?
Whew. Queen. North Node in the ninth? Are you shitting me?
Dragon.
All right, let's
Actually,
get
that's
into
my
it.
north node, or is
Yeah.
Sagittarius. My north node is Sagittarius.
In that would
Technically.
be in your fifth, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, yeah. I have your chart. I just had to think about it. Seventh house north. I keep saying north node, but new moon. Seventh house
Oh,
new
okay.
moon.
Then that makes okay. I thought you meant
Yeah,
north
yeah,
node
yeah.
for real, for real.
I'm tripping for a second. But what this really means is y'all are about to have new people come into your life. And, you know, this also could talk about deepening your connection in your relationships, but new lens is a seventh house thing, new worldview, new relationship with the world could even be a big part of this. But beyond all that, seventh house really says that you guys are going to be feeling more peaceful and happy and just balanced within your life and understanding more things. I'm looking for the Leo card, or a Leo card, right at the
That'd
bottom.
be
Boom.
great.
Oh yeah. So
Well,
I
peace.
mean, Pluto's up here in the seventh, so definitely transforming the way we relate to other people and
Right.
setting hard boundaries around others too. You know, transforming the way that we look at ourselves. And I feel like with the seventh house Pluto, abandonment fears are being confronted, or
Yep.
they have to be in order for us to grow. And
Bring balance.
yeah, ultimately, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it is the message that talks about, are you able to mobilize your associates? Like this 10th house Uranus energy talks about expansion and growth and acceleration when it comes to your goals and your career. And, the people around you in your seventh house, they got to be able to support you, uplift you, or at least be able to not slow you the fuck down, like at
Right.
least. Yeah. So if we're not getting that, we have to make changes and adjustments. So I see with the
Discernment.
Lilith in the second house, and we got the full moon coming up in the second house, is going to say that financial gains are probably going to be coming your way, or you might be releasing obstacles when it comes to your finance or your self-image or self-worth, and
Yep.
just feeling healthier even as well. You know, releasing pain and issues in the body.
Yep. I
So I'm
feel
looking at the
that.
Eighth of Wands here. There's a cleansing going on for you guys as well.
Yeah. I can confirm all of that, dead ass. Like as
That's
of now,
cool.
like this week even.
Right on. That's cool. I love to see that. So I'm getting hang on and work on alignment. Just stay prayed up.
Literally
Saturn's
hang
going.
on.
I got that in front of me as well, quite
Shut the
literally.
they've been
It's
all
happening
the
again,
whole
dude.
time. We get the same. That's awesome.
That is so crazy. Eighth house Saturn,
A lot
so
of like,
shit's been getting real serious for you guys too. So
yeah,
that
dude.
shadow work, that introspection is really helping you solidify the paradigms and the way you want to build.
It's like balance it with healing.
Yeah, we
Like
got the full fresh
calmness.
start. Oh yeah, good things are coming, dude. And really, like with the North Node in the Chiron in the ninth, this is going to say that you guys are feeling more connected to the universe, and things are really making more sense.
Yep.
Where you are being forced to think outside of your mind and the box
Yep.
you create for yourself, but at the same time, man, the universe is showing you can bless you in mysterious ways too. So by
Right. That's
holding
happened
faith and
all
optimism,
week.
yeah, and it'll keep happening, dude. It's just saying serendipity and synchronicity, and just by expecting good things and leveraging the law of assumption and attraction
Right.
and vibration. Oh man,
Right.
good things can come to you always, for
Right.
real, in every circumstance. No matter how shitty life gets, it's going to be good for you,
Right.
for real. So I just see like infinite peace, no limits, no obstacles, because you can manufacture away at all times, and you'll recognize your divinity.
It's been a lot of
So
work to get there.
it just talks about being really authentic with yourself, man, because
Yep.
the shit that's hard here, man, is this square to the 10th house. It's like it's hard to see
Yeah.
yourself clearly because you are influenced by the world.
Yep.
So, I just see a lot of people with this energy feeling real misunderstood, feeling
Always.
real confused about who the fuck they are and really what their job is in the world and what
Right.
are they supposed to create, what's the role they're supposed to play. And for some people, they feel totally fucking lost and desperate, like there's
Right.
nothing they can do or that there's no role for them. And that's really a reflection of a deeper paradigm.
Feel like it could cause a guardedness for some people, honestly, of like, nobody understands me, nobody gets me, because I get that. That's happened my whole life. But
Uh-huh.
like that closes you off to the good things too. Closes you
What
off
you mean
from
here?
the real love, the real jobs, the things that are for you when you close yourself off to everything, thanks to being misunderstood. So discernment.
Mm-hmm. And I'm reading a clear message with these three cards to let go of people that are really draining your energy.
Yep.
Like to literally let them go, remove their access from you. Don't let them communicate with you or talk to you or reach you in any way.
Right.
Because no, your natural state is not drained, is what I'm really
Right.
trying to tell them, is that it's not natural to feel drained. It's not natural to feel tired all the time.
Right.
It's not natural to feel lost,
Right.
you know? So you have to let go of the things that pull on your energy. And I feel a lot of pressure in the heart space, for
Yeah.
real. Like it's the second house Lilith. So this is probably talking about deep investments that you've made in life or deep bondage with other people. Eighth house Saturn kind of feels the same way.
Yep.
So just the pains of the past being heavy and needing to release that shit.
Dude, it's showing up and all of these literally rejection coming here, causing that, it's like I struggling to show up as your truest self because of all of the rejection, but those were people could not even perceive you. They weren't for you.
That's
That
fucked up.
pain,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like let go. And I feel like there are people, I've got procrastination, letting go, but what that's giving me with this is like putting off, letting go the people, the places, or the things, those even the belief of self that is not it's not coming into this new. You got to let go.
Mm,
Letting go is scary,
absolutely.
but do it.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's a deep need for self-trust at Lilith
Yes.
in the second house. And just knowing that you have the tools, the skills, the resources, and
Right.
nothing can hold you back. And I think it was just crazy. I heard from you, it's like these people can't even really, you're not always able to be understood by the people around you,
Yes.
quite literally. So
Yes.
you're gonna have to learn how to take that so personally into heart.
Mm-hmm. Because there are people that will.
Hmm.
Like there are
It
people
makes
that
sense.
will.
But yeah, just create, hustle, inspire, and motivate is what I really take for these Leo risings is that, your creativity, you are the source of your own joy. So
Yep.
you
Yep.
just got to keep doing that. Your natural way of being is beautiful. So
Yep.
taking time to relax is going to be necessary and it's preliminary for you to grow
Yep.
because what's working for you is your energy. So you need to avoid nervousness and desperation at all costs. And
Yep.
I often want to say seek consultation or therapy or resources if you need them, because that's what that shit is for. Because
Yes.
the eighth house Saturn really talks about some trauma healing. I know this comes up in many different readings and forms, but that's really some serious stuff with the eighth house Saturn. And
Mm.
this could also talk about you guys learning how to build your wealth and learning how to invest and
Yep.
learning how to really multiply your time
Yep.
and start leveraging your money for more money as opposed to trading time for it.
Literally.
So that's worth looking into, planting seeds and investing. Oh yeah, 8, 9, divine order. That's awesome, dude. I'm holding the 8 on my side too. How
We're
crazy
literally
is
building your fucking wealth, your worth. Dude, we are like in the same room right now. Like it's not
it?
even
Oh wow, I love it. I
it's
love it. I
fucking
love it.
dope.
Just know whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. So
That part.
no disempowering thoughts, man. You can't hold any space for thoughts that weigh you down. You choose to
Yes,
think, okay?
that part.
It's wild, but you do. So next.
Thank
Oh, is
you.
this my
Next.
dude? Thank you. Next. All right. Moving on.
Well, the Virgo rising in the chat. Please stand up. Mr. Meyer with the
The
fire. Bah, 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 bah.
man himself. Yes.
Bah,
I'm
bah,
so
bah, bah.
excited for this one. I've been waiting my whole life for this shit, dude.
This is the moment.
I've been
Do
waiting so
not miss your
long.
chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in
Ooh.
a lifetime.
Okay.
Literally,
Did
like
the real Heather Tully stand up?
well, the real Peach Chronicles. Y'all, should we take a second to say stop asking if the scam accounts are me or you?
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah,
my
because they're
God.
not. When
So
has well, I don't know. Some people
people
do
just
message through DM. It doesn't make sense.
God. Anyways,
Yeah, we won't message you through DM.
I will
Never
never
for a
message
reason.
you. We will not do that.
Yep, yep, yep.
Fine. Love
Who's
you, but
got the
no.
time to do that shit, man?
Dude, and like so much money. So much money that is like that people
Yeah.
pay these people. And I'm like, yo,
Oh Lord.
thanks a lot, dude. Anyways,
Right. Crazy.
My Virgo, which is the only thing I got to write down before I jumped in on this was quote, the call is coming from inside the house.
Oh fuck. Oh Lord.
Oh my God. Because like you are the one. You this with Virgo, it is your natural being in essence to be of service, especially with the holistic health aspect of things. But it's like with that eighth house energy at the moment, it's like it's you're slaying other people's demons, but are you slaying yours?
Mm,
You're healing X, Y, and Z for these people, but are you doing it for you? It is truly walking the walk, talking the talk in the sense of like you can't pour from an empty cup. And I
hmm.
feel like that has been a theme for like healer energy in general, but like for Virgos who really so much of that natural essence is taking care of life, organizing life, managing life, serving others. Like, if I don't tell me how to do it, because I promise you I got a better way to do it. But it's like, how teachable is the teacher? And is the teacher, embodying the things that's being taught? Because it's a form of self-sabotage almost to only do the work for others, whether it's in your family, in your home life, whether
Uh,
it's at work, doing everything for everyone else. But what does that leave you? How much of that juice is left for you? How much of the sauce is there for you? Because literally, the
uh,
star, like, you have this a never ending gift, but it's being drained because it's not properly like sorted, if that makes sense. Say you've got all of these tubes with all of this beautiful, like, overflowing star ethereal, gracious, thank you, Virgo's energy for healing us all. But like, are the rations fucking equal? And how much are you getting versus work versus everybody else? Where is all of that magic going?
it's
Confirmation
really
cat.
given, it's given, don't stop till you get enough, basically.
And how can you get more? Literally. Like, how can you start to ground into your own magic, into the work that you do? How can you create a stability? And it's like, in a lot of ways, I feel like, and I know this sounds wild to tell Virgos, but it's like, do you have that daily routine down? And does it maybe
Mhm.
need to change? Is there something lacking? Because look at the four bodies: mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. Think of them like a car. One of them's the wheels, one of them's the steering wheel, one of them's the engine, and one of them's the
Yeah,
doors. If one of those things is broken, lacking, missing, that car ain't gonna run. It's not gonna run
right.
right. So you
That's
need to
powerful,
look.
dude. I was thinking as you said that, like fire, water, air, and earth, you can
Literally,
correspond it that way as
yes,
well. The physical is your earth, your emotional is the water,
yes,
your mental is the air, and then your spirit is the fire body,
yes, yes.
quite literally.
The call is coming from inside the house.
Oh Lord have mercy. Lilith in the first house.
Sorry.
So that first house full moon coming up for the Virgo rising is gonna be deep self-reflection for real.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what we are anticipating.
And you
I
matter.
love it,
Like, are
Stephanie.
you,
I
like,
resonate so deep with what you're saying, by the way. This
do
means
you?
everything. Absolutely.
Good.
100%. Because you have to pour into your own cup for real.
I feel like
That's
there's a
that south
heady
node in the second
burnout.
house, dude. It's just like, the work itself has become, I mean, by serving a greater good or devotion it's become
Yes.
savior, martyr, victim, basically.
Martyrdom. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's in
Yes.
that order, savior, martyr, victim.
Yes.
In that goddamn order. God bless it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Jesus,
Dude,
Mary, Joseph, and Buddha.
it's
Thank you
so, I
so much.
know. We asked him for joy and he's like, slay everyone.
You know what I'm seeing, by the way? With the eighth house north node in the Chiron, I'm just seeing a lot of magic. I'm
Yeah.
seeing I'm seeing Wicca and bending the world to the will that we have.
That's why you need to get all these, like, yourself right, because you're about to be literally this channel, like such a powerful, potent channel for this magic, for these gifts that you have. But you got to be strong, bro. You got to be strong, sturdy. You got to have these practices in place and this balance, this holistic balance,
Straight up.
because you're going to burn out. And then
Hmm.
what's good's your magic? What good are you? I like, and the only cards that came out of like my 200 questioning, whatever, is all about literally, like, honestly chilling out a little bit, like having more fun and, like, self-care and all those beautiful things. Because I have, where am I at with my health goals? Where do I want to be? Why am I not there? And what will it take for me to feel well? Now think of that with the four bodies. But then the other two are, when was the last time I danced freely, and when was the last time I couldn't stop smiling or laughing?
All right.
It's like, it's
Yeah.
too much
Dude, check this shit
service.
out.
It's too
It's
much
like
service right
the
now.
problem with the goddamn Virgo rising is
Yeah.
that Capricorn is in the fifth. So it's like these people's fun always has to feel constructive. So like
Yes.
with Venus and Mars here, these people are about to break out because there's a need to.
You
It'll be the
have to.
most
You're
fun.
gonna
Mhm.
explode, dude. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm about to bust. I'm sorry. No, I'm playing. That's
jail,
crazy.
jail, jail,
Jail, jail,
jail,
jail,
jail,
jail.
jail, jail.
Dude, I gotta send you this meme. It is so funny.
Please.
Um, I'm gonna say it for those who literally are gonna be like, I want to know the inside joke. Is
I
Amba
know.
Singh. Amba Singh is
We
like
have so many
AI.
insiders.
Dude, it's a copy pasta, but they got AI people
Copy
saying it.
pasta.
It's so funny. All right, but moving
Yes.
on. Sorry,
Moving
y'all.
on.
Yeah, that
That
was
was a
good. I like that
beautiful
one.
one. That
That
was
was
good.
quite nice. Well, thank you for that because that was illuminating, insightful,
Almost
and
coming from inside the house, Mark.
yes. Oh, yeah. I wanted to say two more things before I really move on from this one because I loved everything you hit with this one. But Virgo rising, first thing I felt with this one, like new job, new occupation, new
Yeah.
service, new vocation, new
Yeah.
moon in the sixth. Y'all might need to pivot. And I literally just dropped simplified tarot today. I became a
Yep.
tarot teacher today. So
Am I
like
on the
that's
right
really
path?
is really on brand with how
Beautiful.
this is playing out in my life, literally. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. And then also when it comes to growth in this cycle is challenging assumptions and beliefs
Yeah.
and literally asking yourself, what do I need to believe to become the person that I want to be? And
Right.
then literally getting the habit of getting aware of that and starting to say, I choose to believe XYZ. Repeat that shit until your body believes it too.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll be really working the magic. So let's move on to the next one.
It's got a
Is this
spooky
my
effect.
turn?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's your
sheesh. Okay, Libra rising. Beautiful.
turn.
I like that I got this one. This is fun. So Libra, that's Aquarius in the fifth. You got air and air, and that's just going to say new creativity, maybe
Yeah.
some projects, self-expression. You might be making some art, really indulging in your passions, but character development is some fifth house shit. So I just see ultimately you are going to be having a lot of fun and embracing who you are. Wherever you go, there you are. So enjoy that. And you got Uranus in the eighth house too. So that really is fast growth, quick changes, and for better or for worse. This says that there may be like a baseline instability for you guys right now, but you're going to need to be able to hopefully realize that as freedom in some way. So that's cool. So focusing on peace. I'm seeing that for the Libra risings. Quite
Yeah.
nice. Seventh house North Node. Yeah, you're going to find balance in your own self and find that in others. And just let yourself be in love with the world and nothing can stop you.
Yep.
I mean, if you're following the conversation up to this point, it's pretty simple. So it's just about really creating something of yourself so you feel no need to judge the world
Right.
negatively. And we stop attributing negative motives to the world and others when we feel better about our damn self. So
Mhm.
I want to second what I said with the last one, but this eighth house Uranus also feels like some magic where these people are probably making quick changes in their life and really gaining a
Yeah.
lot of structure and stability, and some of these people are getting stinking rich. Some of these people are going through it though. I mean, the spectrums of
Yeah, I'm
possibilities are
seeing
so
that.
wide. I do see like Uranus in the eighth. I mean, I just want to say because I hope it doesn't sound repetitive, but as far as astrology goes, Uranus is the awakener, and this breaks paradigms. So by definition, trauma is a key word for this planet, essentially. And that just says that, expanding the mind kind of hurts. Same way a lobster breaks out of its shell or a snake sheds its skin. This can be energetically taxing, and there may be a tenderness when it comes to the places in which we grow. And for some people, that is how we define and recognize our trauma for real.
Right.
So I just want to say, good, bad, ugly, or beautiful, however you guys are feeling in your life, Libra rising, just remember that it's a beautiful gift for you. And at the end of the day, what's being presented to you is power. So my question for you is, how big is your magic, and how can you use your willpower to direct and influence these forces?
Right.
Because whether you realize it or not, if you feel good about yourself, you can use all of the universe as energy if you feel worthy of it. If you choose to believe this, you can control the entire universe.
Right.
With great power comes great responsibility. So that's what I'm seeing here too. is that you have to have compelling dreams, a compelling why. Go after something that's worth it.
Dude, yeah, I'm getting like, I feel like some of y'all, because this might not be for everybody, but some of y'all been through it and it's kind of got you like not just in like the Nine of Wands energy. I've got the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Swords with the Devil and the Queen of Swords. It's got you really like, not disconnected from your heart, because I feel like you're on, I've got strength here too. Like there's purpose in the trials that you've been going through, and I feel like you're starting to see it. You're starting a big part of it was honestly self-love and belief in yourself and how you speak to yourself, how you speak about the world around you, how you perceive things. And like right now, it's like letting go. It's letting go of all of this stuff so far. Like whether it's seeing it that dude, I got three nines out here too. This is
Mhm.
completion energy of karmic cycles for some of y'all, seriously. And it's like it's been such a long road that it's some negative energy, like in fear and doubt about your wishes coming true, about why you started this journey. But like you gotta free yourself from that thought pattern, because it's keeping you stuck in the head and with that air energy, and you need to be in your heart right now to call forth like this new cycle for you, like creativity, self-love. Those are the things that are coming out, matching the vibration of your wish fulfillment.
Amen. Dude, I want to say that there's a Vesta transiting the ninth house for these people, and that reflects to me cleaning up your beliefs really, and
Yeah, dude.
uninstalling, reinstalling. Saturn being in the sixth kind of feels like life could be hard for some of them. And, you know, with that one specifically, that could look like switching directions. Some people might be in the
Yep.
wrong job, perhaps, or
Yep.
doing the wrong things, or maybe if your habits aren't supporting your
Yep.
well-being and growth, you need to change them up a little bit at that point.
Feel like y'all been
So
just shadow work out the yang. It's been a lot of shadow.
yeah, it definitely could be. But I just take it, and even if that's the case, some people might be too involved in the healing and they got to start participating in their joy again,
Yes, that's what I'm
have
saying.
fun
Like,
again. Yeah,
come back.
straight up.
Come
Because
back.
the new moon, I'm sorry, the full moon for them is going to happen in the 12th. And that's just going to be a lot of unconscious release, and that just, and what I mean, unconscious release, collective issues that you bear the burden of as well.
Right?
So some of your problems are beyond you, fam, and you're gonna have to just realize that the world can meet you halfway too, as well.
Do some like beauty, start doing like your beauty rituals again, and like mirror talks, and like do what you can to like really just, there's purpose in the pain. There's purpose through the shadow work and the cycles. Like this what we preach. Do your damn shadow work. The
Dude,
only
some
way
of
out is through.
yeah, amen. And we said all that, and some people are gonna take that message and still not meditate. So I don't know
No.
why the fuck. And if I see you, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you, dude. If I
Shame.
catch you not meditating, because you listen to all that.
All
And
that.
you need daily habits to support your well-being and
Yes.
blessings. So if you're taking time to run around your life anxious like a chicken with your head cut off, and you don't take 5 minutes of your time worrying to just sit there and focus on breathing, dude, you aren't helping yourself.
Need
I'm
a
not trying to
master
be I'm
mind.
not trying to be a dick, man, but this is some negative reinforcement, because
Right.
it's like, now let's flip it. Remember how beautiful meditation is and how much you love it and how it's a great investment in yourself. You deserve it. And ultimately, I just want to say it's hard for people to meditate. Like I've really experienced this myself. It can be difficult to meditate sometimes when you're genuinely going through some shit,
Right.
because to sit in it would actually be a little more painful sometimes than to
Right.
be distracted. So I want to empathize with these people because I can feel the pain in my stomach for real,
Yes.
in the sense that
In
some
my
of y'all
head.
probably
I
don't
feel it
want
in
to
my
meditate.
head.
Some of y'all think you can't meditate because you're holding trauma on the top of your heart. And when you do, you'll let it out. Let yourself break down a little bit so you can break through for real.
There's other ways to meditate too, y'all. You don't just have to sit there like, like you can walk,
Yeah.
walking with headphones. Like I do so much meditation like that, like mantras, yoga, like in being still. It's sitting with spirit, it's sitting with your higher self and sitting with God. It's getting out of your head, but also into your like spirit, it's It's very
Amen.
interesting.
So last thing I want to say to these Libra risings is that this new moon in the fifth house really is going to speak about raising your self-image and character. And
Yeah.
that's going to mean not allowing yourself to embarrass yourself and remembering nothing can embarrass you. Nobody can hurt your feelings. You
Hmm.
control your life. You get me?
Yeah.
And that just means have faith in yourself, have confidence, and just believe in yourself. And if you forget to do that, your life can produce a lot of frustration.
Right.
Remember, also, shame exists in the shadows. So pay attention to the things you worry about and explore them. It might seem counterintuitive, but by doing that, you'll actually take the power away from your fear. I
Right.
promise you. Shame lives in the shadows. So remember that shit. All right. Let's move on. We've
That was
got
nice.
thank you. We've got the Scorpio risings queen. So tell us about the new moon in the fourth house. What's that about?
So I feel like there is a lot of death to a lot of the old ways of honestly thinking and perceiving, and the
Oh
way
yeah.
that it's almost like an entire I don't want to sound like a broken record because it is like a very big overall energy for everyone, but it's
I mean, this will be
seriously,
parallel for the Taurus risings too, a little bit
yeah,
because of the
it's
polarity, you
walking
know?
into a new paradigm, but it's like a lot of death and rebirth here in the sense of how you perceived the world, and like a lot of, working through victim consciousness as well. But it's like almost the manipulation of your own self,
Mm.
of
Yeah, and
like,
that's deep, bruh.
you know what
That's
I'm
deep.
saying?
That's deep though. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
like I like
Yeah, look
I
at the
want to
South
find
Node
the
in the 12th.
words.
Yeah, it's self-sabotage, quite literally. That's what
Yeah.
it is being your own worst enemy. I mean, because I mean, if we want to get more like meta archetypal, I'm seeing new beginnings in the heart, you know. The new
Yes.
moon in the fourth is pretty healthy. That just says new emotions,
Right.
new feelings, or new connections, basically. So
But
new
it took a lot
connections
of
is so
death.
vague. Yeah, it'll be a lot of death. It'll be a lot of release of. I mean, the 12th house is traditionally a pretty negative house, even though it's technically not good or bad. I'll just say that with this being the overarching universal consciousness part of life, the
Right.
12th house release talks about, that generalized confusion that comes from life or just
Right.
the unknown unknowns. This shit is being released. So the North Node in the sixth is kind of about being specific, learning lessons and getting strategies and tools. And I mean, that's a Mercury house. So again, death to old ways of thinking, new ways of thinking
Exactly.
fix our problems.
Exactly. Like it's that God, I don't it's I wish I had like even a deep, like a more expansive way to like word that whole like the manipulation of self, but it's like
Yeah, let me try actually. Because
you can. I feel like you
yeah,
can.
the seventh house Uranus kind of says striving for a deeper embodiment of your ideals.
Yeah.
So it's like certain ideas you thought you grasped, you're figuring out ways to use them and leverage them to higher abilities, basically.
Right.
It's like having things that you thought was figured out, but realizing like, for example, the right message at the wrong time is the wrong message. So it's like you're learning how things are more nuanced and circumstantial, and you're realizing that you are a multifaceted, complex person, and
Right.
it's totally okay for you to grow out of the limited paradigm or to totally break out of a mold completely and have the paradigm
Right.
become obsolete at some point, dude. Let me put
Right.
it this way, dude. If you never contradict yourself, you're not growing. So give yourself permission to do that every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
that's real.
you see
And
people's souls, Scorpio.
yeah, and one thing I heard from a mentor was that the cost of success, and this is your North Node in the sixth house, the cost of success is feeling stupid because you think you should have known that shit forever or
Right.
the whole time. So
Right.
a need for some grace,
And
but
vulnerability. Like that's the thing, like Scorpio, you want to hide, man. You want to crawl back under that rock. Nobody can see me break. Like you come to me, you
mm,
can come to me broken. I got you. Die in my arms. I love you. I'll bring you back. But nobody can see you die. Nobody can see you go through dark. And I feel like some of you have probably been put in situations recently where you've had to, be exposed in that sense around people and like open
yeah,
yourself up to a new level of
amen.
vulnerability and of healing and
You're
like
on the money, dude. I'm
yeah.
seeing it. I'm
Dude,
seeing it
I
too,
love when
dude.
I say stuff and you can prove it in astrology. It's like my favorite thing.
Dude, I love it too, man, because that's where you're going is where I wanted to go, and that just like
Yes.
the full moon coming into the 11th house for these people says that they a lot of these Scorpio risings has a pretty big fear of people, and really they may be keeping themselves, but a lot of these people like the Taurus rising got to start a business, or you got to
Yeah,
really be in
dude.
the public or do something for the welfare of others. So it's
Yes.
like you'll be noticing with the next 2 weeks that you'll be releasing fear around other people and connection,
Yep.
and you'll be more willing to collaborate pretty soon. You get
Yep.
me? Because at the same time, it's like you have this issue I'm seeing for some of y'all where it's like you really need your freedom and you don't want to suffer the responsibility of a group, but you also really hate being burdened by the decisions of an authority figure. So that makes participating with others really problematic. And you're gonna need to really learn how to play that fucking role. And that's gonna say when you really learn more clearly how to define your own boundaries for self and where your ideals and your morals are, you'll be able to participate with others more without feeling that loss of self.
Right.
And that's gonna make life a lot easier for you for real.
Right.
100%.
And
Because yeah, I mean that's the whole point. That's the whole point. Let me
no,
stop.
like I feel you though. Like
Yeah,
cause
yeah.
it's weird. It's weird how literally all of these things line up so deeply with like what you're talking about here about the whole business thing because I feel like there's been a subconscious block that has kept this group from actualizing their true potential, their true passion, that kind of hide under, behind the scenes also
Yeah.
where on one hand it's like this card came out. What can I do to make a difference? And naming all the things you love. I feel like a lot of you guys have that pull and desire to heal. Like there's healing energy coming out as well, right
Yeah.
next to that like subconscious block. So what am I looking for outside of myself that's already within?
Well put. Well put.
You
Because I'm
know?
seeing like this energy of overwhelm, powerlessness, and fear.
Yes.
You need to use this as power and transmute it and recognize that. I mean, this
Right.
is really the nodes in this chart right here is that there's trauma collectively. And,
Right.
Scorpio has this gift. You guys literally need to do two things, and that's step up into your power and then
Mhm.
go beyond. And that's the two things.
Period.
But it's going to say that everybody's got a cross to bear, but also that the world is an organism. So we all kind of suffer the collective cross on some level. And a
Yeah.
lot of people don't know they're part of a collective. So some people get more collective cross than others. But you being a Scorpio needs to elect on some sixth house North Node Chiron shit to pave the way for healers and to
Right.
really lead by example and show others that you can take
Yes.
an extra piece of the salty pie to make sure it gets eaten faster. So we
Right.
can all have better pie later on because
Makes
we can't
perfect.
throw this shit away, man. It's gonna have to be eaten,
Somebody gotta do
basically,
it.
100%. And you're gonna do it, and you're gonna lead by example, and you'll gain power by empowering other people. Is what I'm seeing.
Right. You might be collaborating, like having boundaries and also then letting certain people in, using that discernment to finally let some people into your world, as well. Like you could be coming into collaborations into new fields of study that line up with exactly what we're talking about. Doing something.
You got to protect your blessings too, man. With this seventh house energy, I'm seeing like it's great to embody this energy, but you just got to consider the limitations of your own time and resources too. Where if people are enhancing you, be mindful of that because it's not to say every relationship should be transactional, but you need to be mindful of your resources and not let yourself be limited.
Right.
And if you ever find yourself in a crossroads, always choose more freedom and never less.
Period.
I think that's pretty well put.
That was beautiful.
Thanks, Bestie.
That's a
All
bar.
right. That's a bar.
That's a
So
bar.
I think I hit this one and then you send us off, Queen.
No,
So
you hit the Sag and oh yeah, send us off like to go
yeah,
bye-bye.
right. So yeah, let's
Right,
talk
right,
about the
right, right.
Sagittarius rising because that's the new moon in the third house.
We're like, sorry, y'all. We're like, we've been staring at this screen now for so long. We're like, where am I? Who am I?
Right. Yeah. What's going on? The astrology is definitely hitting. So Sagittarius rising, new moon in the third house, and this just says you guys are going to be having a lot of new ideas, downloads, and
Mm,
insight. And for some people, I would say this might look like new connections with people, maybe upgrading your phone, your laptop, your computer. maybe even a new car for some people for real. But
Yeah.
ultimately, I see a lot of you guys writing a lot too and really organizing your mind because a lot is going on. I mean, this is a more intellectual way of processing this new moon energy. And that's going to say that the full moon is going to be hitting your 10th house. So ultimately, what you're going to try to be doing with these ideas is implement them into useful things. So your goals are really calling out to you right now. And, I see for a lot of you Sagittarius rising, you might be worrying about the future for real with this 10th house Lilith and what else you got, the South Node in the 11th house. Yeah. So you might be worrying about the future a little bit. So I just encourage you to be optimistic and, choose to believe that good things happen to you all the time and you deserve that shit. And, we got the 4th house Saturn. This says you really are mapping out your heart and strengthening your heart. And
Yeah.
yeah, just carrying the family forward. We love to see it.
I feel like there's
So
a lot
what
of
I want to,
learning.
amen. Yeah. Sag at their best is always going to be learning.
Always.
So I want to say to them with Venus and Mars in their second, lean into pleasure, lean into joy, and see what that can do for you to help you manifest your desires.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, what's going on is healing when it comes to self image and personality
Yep.
and really creativity. Some of you guys are wounded the imagination, is what I'm thinking from this 5th house, Chiron. Like, that's what you're healing around is learning how to create more joy for yourself.
Dude.
And
It's
some of you guys
freaking
need to quit your
it's
jobs. I want to be very clear. I'm sorry to keep talking queen over you,
no,
but
please, please.
yeah, Uranus in the sixth says that some of you guys are really gonna have to shake up the way you live your whole day. You might have to literally move, or you might have to get out of that draining job, or cut off those
That
people. And I'm also gonna say for some of you guys, man, you're gonna have to leave those enemies alone, or consider amnesty and just forgiveness and turning a blind eye towards treason, letting unresolved issues be unresolved, and moving the
mhm.
fuck forward with your life for real with
Period.
this one. Yeah. Choosing your peace, man. Picking your battles is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Because, Palace is in the first house for you guys, not written in this chart, but that just says some of you guys might be going through the fight for real.
Mhm.
And if you're fighting the good fight, man, you got karma on your side. So you got to
Yep.
remember karma's impersonal. People get what they give. Never
Yep.
put yourself in harm's way, but let the universe handle some things for you as well. Try not
Right.
to be too involved with all this shit. The real blessing here I'm seeing is that if you stay focused on yourself and make yourself a priority, if you're so in the space of joy and creating your life, you can't be stopped. Confirmation cat.
Confirmation
She's,
cat.
tell- she's telling you, you just got to be focused on creating what you want to create, and then the world can't stop you. If you're
Right.
in love with the world, nothing can hurt you. All right.
That pot.
Capricorn, let's get it. I was gonna
Mic
say it doesn't have to
drop.
be too much. Mic drop, yeah. Let's see what we got for the Capricorn risings.
All right, Cappy.
New moon in the second, Uranus in the fifth. Let me grab the cat. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
man,
Mirage,
all
tell us
work.
about it.
Just popped in my head. All work, no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Oh, straight up. Yeah, that's for real.
Like, and I'm seeing like I feel like the universe has been trying to talk to you about this
Gotta
for
have
a
fun.
minute.
Work
And
hard, play hard.
you're like it's like you're wearing yourself to the bone. It's another one of those burnout energies, but also like it's the balance because we love you, Daddy Capricorns. We need you. Like I say that as like so much fire energy that like I really admire that. But like I said, all work, no play. And also like I'm seeing igniting your passions. Like there's a balance where it's like almost like I'm not telling you to, put the career and all of those things on the back burner. It's more like your soul is crying out for you. Your soul,
Mm,
your passions, and there are ways that you can either integrate them into the work you are doing, and maybe that is something to consider. Maybe there is something else that you might want to do or create as like the CEO of our world, but like also those things are going to make you better at what you're already doing. Is you allowing yourself more time for relaxation, more time for luxurious moments, for self-care, for passionate endeavors, man. Like it's a balance and you need a little bit more of the good stuff at times, truly.
Amen. I resonate with that too.
Yeah.
And the fifth house, you gotta have fun. You really gotta
Yes.
have fun. That's a human need. And like you were saying,
Ha-
it's the soul quite literally crying for expression.
Your soul be sick.
So yeah, and that's a real thing, soul sickness. A lot of people don't really consider, but it can happen,
Yes.
for a multitude of reasons. We've talked about this before, but yeah, you can have like a masculine feminine imbalance, elemental imbalance. You could
Right.
have too many cords of attachment. You could have damage from trauma. You could
Right.
have past life contracts carrying into this life. There could be
Yes.
a bunch of things that make your soul sick. So you got to take
Yes.
time to really be whole with self. And I just see in the fourth house, North Node journeying into the heart for
Yes.
real,
Yep.
journeying into the damn heart space. And also, hey, new money, new clothes,
Red.
new car, new whip, new hoes. Oh shit. We're
Like
not
the
gonna
what you want cap, like
yeah.
I already know, but it's got like for half y'all, the calls coming from inside the house.
I
Like,
see somebody balling, is what I'm trying to say, man. Somebody straight balling in the second house. They got
listen,
money
cash app
and they got
us. No, I'm just
time.
kidding.
Yeah. Book the reading.
We love you guys.
Donate to the mission. No, I'm playing.
But
But
like you
yeah,
deserve it, man.
money and investments is really big and prevalent for these people as well.
Yeah.
Leveraging their time and assets is something I'm seeing.
It's
So
this balance. And I feel like your soul's been trying to tell you, the universe been trying to tell you, and it's
I
that type
enjoy
of
it too.
energy where like this is the energy where people, spirit like puts you on your ass, like you get sick or you like break a leg. No, no, knock on wood. But it's like where you're refusing to stop, to slow down, to balance, to like listen to your soul and only be in your human, and all of it's burning down. All of it is tired.
I
And
like that. Yeah, I'm
you
seeing it, dude.
know,
'Cause, uh, full moon in the ninth house coming up for these people really talks about letting go of the restless, nervous energy. And
yeah,
I mean, the beliefs that create that shit too, man.
yeah,
Delighting in your abundance, indulging in it. That it's meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be
right.
used.
You
So
got
really,
it.
I see Saturn in you guys' third house, just being the super ego, saying no and I can't, and learning to
Yeah,
stop doing that shit, and just really
yeah,
giving yourself permission, allowing yourself to use what you built, letting your shit come
right.
in. They say you can have your cake, but you can't eat it too. So I would tell you guys, like, if you understand the actual meaning of that,
Yeah.
fuck it, just eat the cake, dude.
Eat the
I don't
cake.
get. You can buy another cake. It doesn't matter. Just eat the damn cake. You know.
Capricorn, I feel like you need
That's
permission,
not
and
even what
I'm giving it to
the
you.
yeah, you get the idea. That's not even what the phrase is really about. But the point is that like, it,
But we're making
enjoy
it about it.
I'm gonna switch the meaning. Yeah, enjoy your life now, man. Don't
Enjoy
be
your
not
life
eating the cake just
now.
because you want to have the cake also. Like you can buy more cake, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And I
Enjoy
mean,
the journey, man. Like
Empress
it's
is
not
really out
just
here.
about
Oh yeah. I mean, we're
y'all are
laying on pretty heavy. I
alive.
think they get it. I sure hope so.
I sure hope
Because,
so.
because the only thing that would kinda hold them back from that shit in the ninth house, that Lilith, is, like, artificial guilt, forms of
Yeah.
self-criticism and
Right.
self-imposed restrictions that
Exactly.
doesn't make any sense. Like, Uranus in the 5th is actually kinda challenging because take it from somebody with Uranus in their 5th house every day of their damn life. Uranus in the 5th is hard because you guys are basically relating to the world as yourself and vice versa. So sometimes it's hard to recognize where your problems are. And you might even make new problems that don't exist because
Yeah,
you're just trying to
dude.
tinker with your individuality. So it's easy to feel misunderstood for y'all because you're finding new levels of awareness within self all the time.
Yep.
Saying that shit at 111 right now. Well, it's
Wee.
technically 110, but it sounded way cooler. I'm
Well,
just from the
don't out
future.
it.
I'm from the future. I'm letting you all know it's coming.
You're
It's 1 minute from
welcome.
now. Oh my goodness. 1 minute from now, it'll be a minute later. Oh yes, indeed.
Too meta. Too meta.
Too real. So what's going on? We moving forward. We getting our blessings. And this video was a new moon spell.
It
So
was.
these lucky ducks who
You're
joined in
welcome. Thank you
today
for being here.
did get some magic. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your time and attention, your most valuable resource and asset. I hope you enjoyed this. This was so fun. If you made it to this point, what's the word, Heather? Like, what word
Oh
do they
shit.
comment so that
There,
we
I feel
know
like
that they
there's
thought it
something
to the end?
good.
Because I also would like to tell them that, like last time on my video, it was bananas, but I don't want y'all just comment bananas because then everyone's gonna think that we just asked you to do it.
That
What
it's
I
like
would really,
a thing.
what I want to give as a challenge is like,
Or maybe like ask it.
dude, what just came to my mind, here's what it is. My Uranus in the fifth got it. It's gonna be donkey kick. So you're not gonna, what I want you guys to do is like, please refrain from commenting just donkey kick. But if you can make a story or a comment about like
Right. That's
that
what I'm
chick
saying.
kicked like a
Yeah.
donkey, or man, this reminded me of that time that Uncle Tom got kicked by a donkey. Like if you could say some shit like that, we'll know you
We'll
saw this
know.
through and through. We'll
And
know.
everybody
They
that reads
won't,
the comments,
they will not know. They'll be like, what the fuck?
it's gonna be even weirder than bananas.
Yeah, 100%. And that's beautiful. All right. Nobody's stuck. We are moving forward, is what I want to say. I
You
love you.
are the
We'll see you next
key.
time. You are
We
the
love
key.
you.
Let us know if you want to see more shenanigans. Blessed be everybody.